Hello and welcome back to Technopoverty. It is Dante'S Inferno. I'm Henry.
I'm Lux.
And Lux, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We're in hell.
We're in hell.
And we have D. Hamelsman with a PBR with us, eh?
Yeah, we have D. Hamelsman, we have Captain Coulter in the chat. Anyone else who's here? Hello. We're going down into Pride. After Pride, we've got what? Let me double check the order. I get them mixed up every time.
I believe we are on Fraud. So, Garyon, the dragon with the scorpion tail and all that.
Yes.
It was just an elevator. That was that thing I was going down at the end of last session.
Yes.
That you kind of had to.
I had to leave. I'm just going to check.
No, we do not want to connect online. But we're at Malbolge 1, so kind of outside of Circle 8.
We're getting to the Malbolge, that's what Circle 8 is. It's the evil pouches.
Yeah, like there's just trench after trench after trench, and they're taking the bridge over.
There's 10 different trenches. Seduction, hypocrisy, heresy, some other stuff. But it's the second to last. It's simony. It's the second to last circle. We're gonna see
a lot of fraud.
A lot of different kinds of fraud. That's what we're doing.
I'm curious to see what's in the circle with the pimps.
But who knows how long the Malbolge is going to go, but we will be consulting our book, which is right over here. We have the Gustave Doré illustrated version. I'll actually go find where we're at. There we go. And yeah, to Hamil's Ramble, I don't like ketchup on anything.
You don't like ketchup on anything?
Nope.
Oh.
Is that Beatrice?
Yeah.
Wow, that's the same thought.
My love, come back for you as I promised.
I do not wish to see you suffer, but you leave me little choice.
I am
wow.
not what you think I am.
There cannot be a rival. Lucifer forbids it.
You don't have to obey him. Come back to me.
Behold the 10 circles of fraud and deceit. Those who have broken the very bond of love and trust. In this place shall they be forever punished. Malakoda, show our guest his eternal resting place.
I do not like it on a mat. I do not like it on a bat. I do not like ketchup here. I do not like ketchup there. I do not like it anywhere. Not even in a hole, not even with a mole, not even with a fox, not even with a box. I do not like it on a plane. I do not like it on a train.
Cool.
I was just at the Dr. Seuss Museum in Springfield, Massachusetts, so.
Amazing.
I've got this on the mind. We didn't get to see most of it because it was closed for Labor Day. We saw the sculpture garden and the other outdoor exhibits.
What kind of sculptures are at the Dr. Seuss?
It's just sculptures of all the guys. Your Sam's I Am, your Horton, your Grinch, you know.
Upgrade complete.
All right, now we're in the Malbolge.
You know, Beatrice was looking pretty confident, pretty glow up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, she was. Yes, today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Labor Day. Did I say I was there on Tuesday? That was wrong. I was there on Monday, which is Labor Day, which is why they were closed.
Thais, the harlot. I'm going on absolved mainly because I want to play the little mini game, and also because we just punished the previous dude.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Lux, this little mini game here is reminding me Doom Eternal is very bop-it minded.
Yeah, that's how you've been describing it. Is that it's a lot of bop-it stuff.
You were talking last week about just the want for children to be invisible in public spaces and the kind of public phobia or public...
the weird antisocial tendency that implies.
Yeah, the invisibling of children. Something about the type of power fantasy Doom is telling me that I am a child, but in a very, as an adult way. I, as a grown person, am a small being, is kind of what I'm getting at with the constant bop-it, minivan gamification of what Doom is doing to my brain.
Sure.
I'm given a lot of mechanics, but I'm not given the ability to really experiment with them.
You don't get to play with them, you just sort of stick them where the game tells you to go. And
something about the feeling of being the small being, of feeling powerless, of just being a baby with this square block puzzle, brings to mind just the adult want to be a child as it absolves you from, I mean, social participation, but even like considering yourself culpable or capable of doing anything about the structures you're in socially. You know, I'm a victim of this empire as much as those on the frontier of it who are crushed underfoot for profit. I can't do anything to change anything. I'm just this small being. This is comfortable. I'm in the crib.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's too cynical or too negative, but I just feel there's if you can picture yourself only as a small child who can't do anything, then it absolves you of having to imagine doing anything, really questioning if you should be doing anything. Just a lot of comforts in that. And I think about this when it comes to, even at a base level beyond voting, like, you know how DSA has you pay dues to them on a monthly basis, for instance. Even that kind of making Americans cringe because they don't typically think of politics as something they're, subscribing to or giving money to in that manner. I don't know, just little acts of imagination seem stifled by this prison of the child or of the baby. It's tricky territory too, because as we've articulated before, we like comics and video games and that kind of stuff. Whoa. So I don't want to get into like a superficial like man-child kind of thing here, but I don't know. There's a tension there. I'm curious about. And I'm curious about your thoughts on it. There's.
All right, you have to.
Infinite mana under 75 seconds.
Yeah. There's a Zizek thing that I think McGowan gets into also, which is sort of this idea that, and this is also big time a Deleuze thing, honestly. It's I think foremost a Deleuze thing, frankly, I guess that's where I'll start, is the Deleuze of it. So, in Thousand Plateaus, there's an essay called The Genealogy of the Geology of Morals. That's a play on...
Genealogy is the Nietzsche one. I'm familiar with that one.
It's a play on the genealogy of morals. Not Atlanta. Springfield, Massachusetts. But yeah, so it's called The Geology of Morals. Very good piece. I like it a lot. There's a lot of weird stuff in it, and a lot of stuff that doesn't entirely make sense. But one of the core things it's doing at the level of argument is where, well, yeah, I trust the Hamill's mammal, he would know. One of the core arguments it's making at the level of argument is presenting the concept of striated versus smooth morality.
Okay.
And the idea is that striated morality basically sort of operates in this way where, so you know what striated versus smooth rocks are, or like strata in geological terms?
Go ahead and tell me.
Okay, so it's basically that some kinds of rocks form with striations, which are caused by like layers or erosion, which are
Like recursive pattern type
just like little
stuff?
tracks in them.
Okay.
They're little paths where you can like see where water has gone and stuff. Whereas some things are alternatively smooth. They are like complete pieces, or the way in which water has run over them has rendered all of the stuff basically the same, etc. And so they talk about striated versus smooth morality in terms of striated morality is a moral situation where you're always kind of moving along these pre-constructed pathways that you are moving through the striations in the geologic fabric of society, right? There's pathways that exist.
Yeah, to bring that to the Malbolge, I find it interesting because you get within this and you start getting to the more structural levels of sin, and you do start getting into like a striated sense of hell.
Yeah, because you're moving inside of these pathways, right? Which is, this idea that there are, various moral positions you can take, and they all sort of point you in a direction, and that you just follow those particular, whether it's...
Right. That's why some of these are the bigger sins, because it's not just you're committing a sin, but you're leading other people into sin through leading them. Okay.
Through control. Well, it's a little. I mean, that
well, that's Inferno.
That comparison kind of holds up a little bit, but I think it's just that, like, I mean, to go back to our original starting point of Derrida, like, it's the undecidability thing, right? Like, you're offloading the sort of force of moral choice to pre-constructed moral frameworks that exist, right? You're not making the choice. You're just sort of saying, I'm doing the system. The system is doing it.
Operating, within what the system deems like just, ethical.
Yeah.
The ethics of the system.
The ethics of the system, and also that you aren't the one doing the choosing, right? The system is. The moral system is, right? Not like a political system, the moral system,
We're
right?
all saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, or it's like, you can be a utilitarian, and then if you do something bad, that other people perceive as bad, you go, well, this is just the outcome of my utilitarian moral system. Or you could be a deontologist, and same thing, or whatever. Or a, hyper-humanist ethicist. And then all your choices aren't your responsibility. They're the outcome, they're the inevitable outcome of the moral system in which you've chosen to participate. Ooh, hello. But yeah, so that's like the striated smooth distinction, because smooth ethics kind of implies a sort of mobility between spaces, right? That like your ethical position is not consigned to or committed to a particular set of like prescribed lines that you can move across the rock face in whatever way you choose, because you're not bound to, a particular striated pathway. Right, to go back to Derrida, it's similar to the undecidability thing in that you don't have a prescribed system of morals. You have a one that is being constructed newly every time you make a moral choice, which gives you the responsibility as the moral actor for the actions you're taking. So from that contention.
Can I try making just an observation that I feel is kind of fitting here, considering the two games we're playing? So I'm given a moral choice to R2 these guys and absolve or punish them. I can make that choice. In Doom, I have to wait for them to glow to deliver a specific punishment with a specific weapon. I'm not making that choice.
Right. Yeah. So that's
interesting.
I think that's like the top level version. Then I think this gets to become more nuanced as it goes.
Yes.
Because so then I mentioned Zizek and McGowan, and they talk about this in terms of what's it called?
Is this the same Todd McGowan of like Y Theory?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
It's in his Lacan and Cinema book.
Okay.
They talk about this stuff in terms of Lacan, but also in terms of respectively multiple choice testing or soda, depending, on. I don't think you should do those. I think those kill your combo.
Okay.
And you have to get to a hundo. But yeah, so their argument basically is that what capitalism does, and this is sort of what Deleuze and Guattari are arguing with the smooth and strided ethics, although I think they're talking more about historical systems in general than capitalism specifically, is it limits the fields of possibility, right? Like, it limits what choices are available.
It's like that Noam Chomsky thing about discourse, like permitting like broad discourse within a narrow range of subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it determines what those outcomes what outcomes are possible to be achieved, or like what choices you're allowed to make, right? So, so you know you can do any number of things as long as they're the things outlined by the system. You know, I mean, easy example, right? Is I can eat whatever Sour Patch Kids I want as long as they're the Sour Patch Kids in the colors that we have available to us.
All right.
And so the way they frame this up is that moral and political choice on a day-to-day basis within contemporary capitalist society is, you know, when McGowan puts it as you have the choice between A and B, but the radical choice is choosing C, right? Or I think Zizek makes a joke about you have Coke and Pepsi, but choose RC Cola, right? That any choice within the prescribed bounds of behavior.
Below are the Simonist popes, those false men of the cloth whom you followed so blindly.
I wish they were on fire, but at least they're upside down.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, we got this.
Okay.
5 enemies. Oh, this is going to be the tricky one. The airborne move. Do I hold triangle?
Hold triangle, launch them, yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps it's your soul that's in danger, Dante, not mine.
I did know someone with a tree house growing up. Remember, you have to magic those guys' shields to.
Oh wait.
You also have to magic those guys' shields to get them
off of fire.
Off of fire, yeah, and then you can do stuff to them.
Oh come on. Well, when they're in the air.
Yeah, once you get them in the air, they're pretty killable, but you just have to.
There we go. Well, I think if they're on fire, it doesn't matter when they're in the air.
Well, you can't get them in the air if their shields are on fire. Is the thing.
Kill this guy at least.
Yeah, now you only got 2 left.
Come deeper, Dante, for more awaits.
But yeah, so they present this claim, right, that political and ethical action is all within these prescribed limits of possibility, and so when you're doing stuff, what you are doing, kind of regardless of what it is inevitably just reifying and validating those outlines of what is an acceptable action. I hope. What you're getting at, in terms of doom, is a twofold relation to this idea. Well, hold on. Sour Patch Kids, baby.
I'm gonna.
Thank you, gnarly. Shimel on my bulge is really good. It's just too bad you couldn't get the third part.
Invalidated. I'm gonna forgive the fortune tellers because I think fortune telling is cool.
I think you should forgive him because he was in trouble for doing trans stuff, and I don't think that should put you in hell. He was
Not at all.
He was gender fluid, or I guess bodily fluid, but not bodily fluids. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But his body was fluid and they sent him to hell, and I think that's lame. They should have.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of Paradise Lost is when Adam is just like, yo, Raphael, do angels fuck? And he's like, yeah, we just kind of mush all together, and then he just takes off.
He's like, we turn into a gas.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of blend.
There's no membrane.
Nice twofer at the end there.
Yeah. Sending our trans friends to heaven.
Yeah,
That's what video games are all about.
That's worth it. That was a good choice. So in the Diablo example, right, you're not making any choice. Exactly, man. People should read the Cyborg Manifesto.
Towards a post-sexual society.
Yeah, the Donna Haraway gets it. The body is a malleable object. Sorry, I'm working my way back.
Yeah, meets old hardware, metal the future.
Whoa. You're doing your work at Riot due to the.
Why, hello, Isworld.
Due to the housing crisis.
If only the false prophets here could have seen your future.
Ah, yes, the sorcerer.
Oh, we got an Alex Jones meltdown? That's good. Yeah, your hyper-local housing crisis. The crisis within your house.
Oh, damn, that sounds awesome. Not the hyperlocal housing crisis, just the Alex Jones meltdown.
Yeah, take your whiz to work day.
Take your whiz to work.
I guess that is what Nick's up to. I love when the large, strange red men scream about traitors.
Stay in the air for 8 seconds. Okay.
And that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Did you think I'd come back to you after what you've done?
I think I need to tie in some more combos up there and use some other moves. Yeah, that's how you do it, but you gotta do long. You just gotta do it long enough to stay up there for all 8, but that was the right way to do it. Keep bouncing them. But yeah, so you have this thing, right? So we have this situation, right, where it's like, shut up, terrifically quit or whatever fake thing.
Oh, I'll ban them in a moment.
Yeah, if you want to ban them, I can just take the controller for a second, but I can also keep explaining this thing. So with Doom, right, what you're describing isn't actually a choice apparatus at all, right? It's direct, 100% dictated behavior. Because with Doom, they're like, if you want to punish this thing, you have to do exactly these steps. Right? That's the proposition. Is you follow the exact steps. Doom, Doom, D-O-O-M, Doom Eternal specifically.
Doom Eternal, yeah.
So
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal presents you with that, right? That like you have to hit those exact steps in the exact right way to do the thing. And so there's no choice mechanism there at all, actually. It's not a question of them presenting you a false choice mechanism or a made-up choice mechanism. It is them giving you none. This gives you the semi-choice of absolve and punish, but in the McGowan Zizek Deleuze accounting, that's not really a full choice either, right? Because it is a prescribed set of choices. You can either absolve or punish, but A, you have to accept the absolve punish binary in the world that imposes that, and B, you can't do anything else. I guess you could theoretically leave them alone if you don't talk to them, but
Or just not play the game.
Yeah, or
shut
kill-
the council
right.
off. Yeah.
Right, but that's the radical choice to choose C, right? That's the RC Cola, is
Yeah.
you just forego the system entirely. And so, to wrap all the way back around to the original question about the sort of infantilization thing, is that, boy, yeah, this one is going to take some more turns. Sorry, everyone. We're going to do a lot of philosophy stuff right now. Is that like...
Boiling pitch of the politicians. The liars.
Well, it's both building upon stuff we talked about last Tuesday.
Yeah, it is, but I had not prepared this, so I'm sort of freestyling, and I'm realizing that there's a lot more pieces to this puzzle than I thought when we started. So
Protect the human. Okay, I'm gonna take a take a sip real quick.
That's
sugar up.
That's fraught, but okay. So what we've established so far, for everyone who's just got here, and also for my own remembering what's going on,
Yes, welcome to hell.
is moral choice is generally dictated by the social situation in which it exists, which presents a limited set of options. Some may be better, some may be worse, but all of them are circumscribed by social situations. And that your agency, and therefore your ability as a moral actor, therefore, is limited because you cannot be fully responsible for your actions or judge others as responsible for their actions because they're all circumscribed by, oh, you're missing one. Oh, they got your human. They're all circumscribed by sort of social demand. And that ethical, like truly revolutionary or, you know, exceptionally powerful revolutionary demand is only possible if you are operating outside the bounds of those pre-established frameworks. So that's where we're at. So then you talk about infantilization, and what infantilization is in this particular case is the limiting of available like choices, right? Mm-hmm. Is the limit, is the denial of the need for all those choices, the prescription of possible options, what Deleuze would call like reterritorialization of ideas, or the denial of lines of flight. Lines of flight being sort of the options of the means by which one can remove oneself from these sort of prescribed systematic approaches. So why is that is like a very existentialism thing, right? Like Beauvoir, who I've been reading a lot of for Burns lately, and Sartre talk a bunch about this, that like freedom is very scary. That with freedom comes the fact that you are then responsible for the choices you make and for their outcomes.
I have a question when you have a brief.
Well, yeah, what's up?
I picked up No Exit recently, the play.
Yeah.
Should I read any of his works before, or do you think it works kind of on its own?
I think it works on its own.
Okay. I was like, do I need to know much of his philosophy work? I know.
I mean, I think a lot of the philosophical ideas are just.
Damn.
Oh, fail. I'll try it. I think all the philosophical ideas are just in there.
Okay.
And I think it can go both ways. You either read it and then look at some of his other stuff to get a clean idea of what's going on, or you can read his other stuff first and then get a clean idea of what's going on in No Exit. But yeah, so they talk about how freedom is terrifying, right? That freedom is
Ice.
Oh crap, I already lost one. That sucks. That's the same spot you lost one. It's just hard to get from side to side, but I think I should use more magic.
Same. That's what I realized after losing the one as well.
But yeah, so
Freedom is terrifying.
Freedom is terrifying, and part of the biggest reason it's terrifying is that like there's no longer a means by which you can sort of deny responsibility for your choices, your actions. Mm-hmm. You are fully culpable for all the stuff that you do because you are a free actor choosing to do that stuff. And so the reason these ethical systems, even very sort of well-meaning and opaque one, or well-meaning complicated ones, while are somewhat, you know, can be good, but they are limiting and not necessarily always good because, oh, beans. They're limiting, not necessarily always good because they offload that responsibility and they limit your ability to make choices. They also limit your capacity as a moral actor due to, you know, the fact that you're offloading these systems. And so you have these systems and these frameworks in place to make moral choices that, you know, infantilize people precisely to give them the out from having to take moral responsibility for stuff. And that's their function. And then what that does, like you said, is like that does, is and of itself, is the infantilizing mechanism, right? That there's no more need for self-reflection or intentional action, and you don't have to be treated like an adult who's responsible for their choices and who we need to take seriously as an actor, because you are just playing inside of the choices laid in front of you. And infantilization, that system infantilization, makes that more comfortable and palatable for people, and it disguises that sort of rejection of freedom as, you know, some kind of systemic aesthetic preference, as opposed to a reflection of a sort of, you know, combination cowardice and disregard. And so that's sort of, I think, what the infantilization thing is doing. And I think that also, like, you know, does contribute to the sort of anti-socialization stuff that we've been talking about, in the sense that, oh, you got one on your right. In the sense that by sort of getting people away from their own agency and their own existence, you know, by divorcing people from their own subjectivity, I guess, they, or at least their own perception of subjectivity, they like enable a degree of comfort, but are perhaps not so good at provoking sort of human and positive human pro-social action. So like, and like, you know, when you, this is the sort of thing we're talking about, right? That like, people make up their rules for what social space needs to be like, and some of those are negotiated rules that everyone agrees on, like don't talk in the movie theater. Would some people make up their own rules where those don't apply to them, or make up alternate rules they expect other people to follow when they're for no reason. And so, and then those people are the ones who are like, I shouldn't have to see your child here or whatever. But then also, you know, the generalized infantilizations, the generalized infantilization, like, is what contributes to these sort of or like, yeah, it normalizes this sort of anti-adulthood. And so that's why you get these sort of, you know, it's not a coincidence that a lot of the like, get your politics out of my movie people, or that Marvel people are so often like, get your politics out of my movie people, right? Because they don't want to have to reflect on the significance of their choice or the meaning of their aesthetic thing. They want it to simply exist as this like purely aesthetic object, absent any kind of ethical or conceptual reflection, because, and it appeals to them because it's infantilizing, and then it also, they protect it as an infantilized object because they want, that's what they want. Okay, mission complete. I think that basically answers your question.
Yeah, the infantilized object. I just want to note the mission we just did where we had to protect the innocents. I kind of like that as a play on like the politician's realm. What do we want to buy? We have a lot of money. I kind of, yeah.
That seems cool.
The air cyclone seems pretty cool.
Have we unlocked more health bonus stuff?
I think I already bought some.
Is there more up at the top?
Sacred Quake.
And sorry if that was extremely rambly and not focused, everyone. I did not intend to go on like a hard body deep dive into that kind of stuff, but I was just thinking about it as I was doing it because Henry asked the question and then I started thinking about it.
I'm gonna keep saving because we're right there for this guy.
Then why don't you get the 2500 and then the spinning air guy, and then we can just move on because we were a little short on. Yeah, effectively, to shorten that, because I was figuring it out as I was going, the shortened version is that I think the infantilization thing you're talking about and the reduction of choices thing is just sort of a reflection of
You're right at home with the hypocrites, Don.
broader desire to
Sixth ditch.
a broader desire to sort of avoid ethical responsibility for their action
Now think about it.
and not think about it, and that we're seeing that as like this broader trend towards infantilization.
No mana. We can do that.
Is that all your... Is that how you show regret for your
I'm like, why is there that audio skipping? Is that meant to make us, like, is that for us, or is that just literally the game being a little messed up?
I think it's the game, but I'm not sure. Hold try to get him in the air.
Does this count as magic? No? Okay.
Good idea. Yeah, then the political outcome of that obviously is that it weds people to the choose between A and B and not choose C framework of political action, right?
Yes.
Like, everyone wants it to be, I mean, that's what the vote blue no matter who thing is, right? That there's no political choice outside of choosing who to vote for. And so that's all that matters. And so we shouldn't even consider or think about alternative political solutions. But it's the same kind of infantilizing, de-agentifying thing at play there.
Trying to isolate this guy. There we go. Okay, how do I do the fire guys without magic?
I think you might just have to smack him up a lot.
Okay. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Just escape? Okay. Is escape just survive? Can I use magic now?
Yeah, magic's back.
Challenge canceled.
Looks like magic's back on the menu, boys. But yeah, so I think, does that sort of get towards the thing you're asking after about?
Yeah, what I was feeling there, or what your thoughts might be on the deeper kind of currents of the things these games are operating on. Not necessarily out of like authorial intent, but just as products made
Yeah.
within the society,
Well,
this culture.
I think, and this is something I talked about in my famously never published, should have published it chapter from my thesis, my honors thesis at Bard, is that like video games, part of the reason video games cultivate a uniquely toxic body of fans, or at least used to before that became just sort of the norm of what fans look like. Is that there's literally mechanically no way to engage with them outside of that sort of A-B like rational outcome, like limited choice spectrum, right? You only have the choices that the people who built the game put into the game. And you don't have, there's no alternative there.
Yeah, I think when
And
we
so-
talked Mass Effect, this is something that's come up as far as like the morality you're acting on being the morality of the writer of Mass Effect.
Yeah, there just is no other option, right? And
Yeah.
so there's a little bit less, like they're uniquely suited to kind of replicate the worst impulses, the sort of anti-revolutionary, anti-action, anti-agential politics, because
Especially like reifying like individualist hero narratives, which is what a lot of
even like, outside of the narrative question, right? It's just this question of form, right? Like, for sure, the content of them replicates a lot of conservative ideals, but I would sort of argue that the content of them is largely that way because of what the form itself is. That like the way video games work as art objects is designed to sort of, or is like incapable of avoiding the core animating impulse of anti-choice, anti-agential ethics and politics, and sort of known sameness that sort of, I won't say typifies, but like defines the perspective of that political position.
creates norms, or like in reinforcing norms, but also this is the standard. I think about like when Gone Home first came around, and like, you know, the Gamergate term of walking simulator was applied to it because it was outside the norms of what like a video game was supposed to be or operate as.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something I'm going to be doing as we play more games on this stream is point out how much that's just not the case, and that the walking simulator is something that's been a feature of video games forever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it again because
Wizard World Live, Silent Hill 2 is a walking simulator.
Is that all you're made of? Is that how you show regret for your
The original. I don't know what the remake is like, but I might do a little comparative play at some point just to check that out.
But yeah, I do think that, like, so, I mean, another thing about that, right, with video games, even the walking simulators, is that, like,
I do think there's something weird in Doom Eternal as well, being just like at odds with like the typical function of a first-person shooter. But back to walking simulators.
yeah, well, I mean, not just walking simulators, but like all games, right, there's just a strict one-to-one in terms of, or there should be a strict one-to-one in terms of, you press the button to do the thing and then the thing happens, right? Mm-hmm. There's like a strict cause and effect, and the limits of what you can do are prescribed by the design of the game. There's no, I mean, obviously things like modding and like hacking into games complicates this, but
Right.
not really on the metaphorical level, because we're comparing it to like a political arrangement. Like, that's the thing, right? You have to break the system apart to be able to do things outside of the system. That is classic sort of political antagonism.
Even in the Doom WADs we've been playing, it's like they still are built in a language crafted by like what the Doom engine can do and what the community's come to a consensus as like doing good things with the Doom engine is.
Right, yeah.
Oh crap, you're getting just ganged up on there. Weird angle. There you go.
Now I'm on the right side of history. By history, I mean this large thing. But yeah, I think that games sort of necessarily, you know, as much as I love them, which is a lot, do,
I think that guy's R2'd up. Yeah.
by default, create the material conditions for a very specific ideological arrangement
I think
that
there's
is
some,
like inherently conservative, and like it makes sense why people who are sort of locked into that perspective.
get ready to do a QTE. R1 minute. I think it sells people into believing they have a placement in a meritocracy that doesn't quite exist or isn't quite real or is like assumed, but not necessarily spoken or enforced. But like,
well,
I'm good at the video game. I beat the thing. I must be smart.
There's that part for sure. But I will also say that it prioritizes a kind of epistemic principle, an epistemic priority of limits, right? That limits exist and they're knowable and they're mission critical, and that you sort of have to follow them and you have to care about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now of like, I know I've done
thinking,
this before where I've not acted on some things in realities or been more timid than maybe I would be if I weren't such a like objective driven gamer boy teen in my early 20s.
Yeah.
The bad aspects of like gamer brain socialization, of which there are many.
Yeah, I think that's exactly.
I mean, I guess I also see it in the spillover into like the appification and gigification of everything, and like the rise of like a hustle culture mindset where a lot of the language used to describe like work culture is language I see as like from video games, from World of Warcraft, from MMOs.
Right, I mean, we're optimizing, we're power building, we're leveling.
Unlocking perks when I use my credit card to spend on things, yes.
This is bad.
I was like, what's the challenge? You're losing health, got it.
Yeah.
Do you get health? Do enemies drop health?
I'm not sure.
Life's a game and it's pay to win. Yes, Wizworld, yes.
But see, this is my fundamental argument is that life's decidedly not a game.
Right.
But that gaming as a hobby, I guess, or as an epistemic space encourages one to think that way, and when one thinks that way, it creates insane limits on how one can engage with life.
It reminds me of like this sort of revelation I had in relation to Soulsborne games where, you know, when you first play them and you realize like, okay, yes, like I'm smart enough to like do all the reading, find the right stuff, do my min-maxing, and like overcome these challenges. And if you stop there, you might translate out into real life as like, okay, I can just min-max my way through anything in life as an individualist conqueror. But then the more you think about it and the more you realize, well, the reason that works within Dark Souls is because Dark Souls is providing you the exact conditions by which every problem has a solution.
Right.
Right.
And it's thinking of the world in those terms is like sort of the core problem here, right? Like,
right.
That was the whole, again, never published it, really should have, oh well, too late. Gamergate thing was that like, the idea was that Gamergate was going to happen. This was before Gamergate, just slightly.
Uh-huh.
Was that thing like Gamergate was inevitable?
Yes.
Because, what's up to Hamill's Mammal? I think like Gamergate was inevitable because the way gaming encourages you to think and codifies causal rationality and boundaries, I guess. Encourages a perspective of like normalizing rules and tendency, right?
I also felt there was going to be a weird kind of explosion because console gaming and PC gaming were on a crash course of like two different types of histories or accounts of gaming. Like when Microsoft dropped the Xbox 360, there seemed to be a huge push towards like a frat broification of console gaming. That up until that point had been like mostly the realm of PC gaming, like first-person shooters and tournament play and online multiplayer. The way Xbox Live brought that to a new generation of teenagers, it brought with it to a new conception of like what gaming and gaming culture was. I grew up with a lot of like PS1, PSX era horror RPGs, like kind of novelty stuff. I was extremely surprised in the 360 era when Oblivion was like just like a mega seller among just everyone, and I don't know. I felt that there was a weird kind of like American overriding of gaming history going on when stuff like BioShock was being critically written about as like the first artistically considered like piece of gaming. It's like, well, no, the Japanese and other nations have been doing this stuff, and even like American PC gaming, which was not as big as the new console stuff. Like, there's a history there. But I don't know, it's in seeing that newly constructed kind of like market-driven culture with this older kind of...
Yeah, but Wiz is right to point out, like, there was some frattiness to the console, like the frat that
there was, like, definitely remember like Penny Arcade, look up Penny Arcade's Paris Hilton comic where they just hate her for no real reason.
But
that kind of toxic shit was around, yes.
But as Wiz says, I think correctly, that was also always part of it, because there was always Madden dudes.
Yes.
Yeah, Penny Arcade has not aged well.
No. It's if anything more interesting to me now, because I mean I wasn't super huge into it, but then like going back now and seeing just like kind of like these shit dude gamer takes, it's like, oh yeah, what the hell was that? Speaking of, we watched Dante's Inferno 2007, the paper puppet.
Oh, that was fun.
That one's really fun. Also, like, there's so much just riffing on the Bush administration. It was a really nostalgic time in a sense because of that.
Yeah.
But I need to focus on this challenge.
Yeah. I didn't realize they're radicalized leftists now, Wiz. That's very funny.
Oh, Penny Arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing current day, so interesting to hear. Give me health. Cool.
Did it. You earned a trophy, indigestion.
Turned out kind of okay.
That is interesting.
I was like, I haven't heard anything horrible, so that's cool. Okay.
Well, it sounds like you got a buddy somewhere.
Yeah, let me know. Should I have maybe...
I think keep going.
Oh.
Extremely jock-coded gaming, Wiz.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah.
The frat bros of Hobbiton.
It's more, I think, my thing is, again, like less about the actual content of the games or even the conversations around them. And more that like, when you imagine the world as abiding by a set of rules and that like, those rules are knowable, then you assume a sort of consistency in stuff, right? But what happened with Gamergate, and I would argue what made Gamergate inevitable, maybe try backtracking, see if there's something you can climb on that wall to find that person who's talking.
But yeah, my
what
general...
made it inevitable is like that if you have people who think that way, right, which ostensibly you did at the time,
yes,
then, or which like we all sort of know you did at the time, then it's no surprise that as sort of voices and styles and perspectives that aren't theirs increasingly become a part of the mix of... Can you go up?
Nah.
Damn, did we just miss that one somehow?
I'm wondering if maybe I should have been on top of the thing as it fell, but...
I don't know where we're taking you though.
I don't know, yeah. I do like these fast climb mechanics.
like inevitably they would have had that reaction because they're being confronted with difference, right? And the thing that way of thinking cannot abide is difference, because once you start introducing variables and styles that are distinct from
Stay here.
the baseline thing,
Find company with
then
close advisors.
oh, this is the vizier section.
Evil council.
The scheming vizier, circle of hell.
Father.
Hell yeah, the Hamill's mammal, continue cleansing. Oh, that's easy for me. I'd never block.
Yeah, I think I'm a bigger like. I do like using the counter. Oh, it's
these
the
are the guys
spinning
you
guys
do
that
wanna
you
block.
do want to do the counter on.
You'll
That's
never
smart.
be more than a liar.
That's good game design. But
I do like these little skill checks. I assume like we're getting near the end. This is kind of
we
like
have
an
to be.
end
We're like
gauntlet.
towards the end of the Malabolgia. There's only one circle after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, you know, that it was like inevitable that those people were going to have the kind of freak out that they had, because increasingly their sense of knowing what gaming is, as constructed as it was or not, was coming under threat, which sort of means that the system was not working as intended, the game was not working as intended, the input-output was not
Do you remember
producing as intended.
when E3 announced they stopped doing booth babes?
Yes.
Yeah. Very reflective of what you're getting at here.
I think that was the same year. I think that was part of the essay. I mean,
Was
the
that
essay-
tied in with like the Zoe Quinn stuff?
the what?
The Zoe Quinn stuff for Gamergate?
Yeah, I think the Booth Babes thing came first.
Yeah.
I think the Booth Babes thing happened in like early 2013 or late 2012.
Oh, I didn't want to say it happened before 2010, but I just may be misremembering.
Maybe I'm misremembering it, but it happened early enough that I was able to write about it in a thesis that I put out in 2013.
Nice.
Really should try to dig up those pages. There's some good stuff in there, but yeah, this is like my great academic regret is I didn't try to publish it because it was right. It was like the rare philosophy thing that was like correctly predicted some stuff. Which, you know, basically never happens.
Just describes.
Yeah.
Theorists up until now have only described it, yeah. Described gaming. Lux was going to change it.
I did write a thesis in 2013, and then never again. I decided not to go to grad school, and instead, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, the great regret of not having put that out when it could have been a pretty cool thing to have out in the world, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is the core idea, which is this thing that I think we're getting at, this idea, this like hyper fixed borders and fixed striated pathways of choice and behavior.
Gaming as dictating norms.
And that people want that because of how liberating it is to sort of...
Well, you deserve to be homeless because your Uber rating's 1 star.
Yeah, exactly. Right, that there is a system of rules and norms that they can follow and then not have to confront the ethical problems of the positions they take.
Right.
Or
because
because
they didn't vote for Kamala, they deserve that to happen.
Right,
Yeah.
or even, you know, the even more grotesquely deterministic of like, well,
resetting the hit
Oh,
counter.
hell
I have
yeah.
to kill them all in a single combo. Got it.
or like the even more deterministic and distressing version of, well, you live in a red state, so whatever happens to you, you deserve it.
Right.
Is, you know, that's all from that same stuff, that impulse to sort of have a set of rules and norms and diktats that you can just like point to, and you you plug in the situation to your little ethics machine, and the ethics machine outputs a thing. And I think people like that quite a lot because it makes life very easy.
Offloads the ethics.
It offloads the mental labor, right? And people don't like to do mental labor. They hate it so much.
You're a sad, false shell of a
Oh, crud.
Dang.
I tried to load up as triangle. That was a mistake.
I do think art, you know, for the debates over what is and isn't useful in it. Oh yeah, use the cross to continue attacks. It is one of those things that, like, oh, I failed instantly.
My turn. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was going to talk about art as a tool for recognizing, like, just like how and where in the structure you're getting your dictates from, or your sense of like ideology. You know, I talk about how I don't think art necessarily will end a war, but it lets us like talk about war after it's happened.
Right. Well,
But it also allows us to practice like being put in places of like uncomfortable, like mental duress or emotional duress in ways that aren't physically harmful.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also, like, how often do you hear people talk about or see in your own life pieces of art that make you go, oh, I didn't even realize that you could do that, right? That, like, that realization that a thing is possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, art creates lines of flight by articulating possibility.
Damn. Articulating possibility is a good way to put it. Artifice through which we mediate ideas.
Yeah. Oh man, speak on that.
Yeah, ignorance to understanding reactionary. It's just what they don't know. Yeah, I can see.
Well, it's also the design. I think it's, if I had to guess, or if I were to put a Lux spin, a Lux gloss on that, it would be like, it's the desire to, it's the necessity of not knowing, right? That they have to not know.
That keeps the comfort going.
Yeah, because if you know, then at a certain point you do have a moral injunction to do stuff. That, or you have to continue to like accumulate increasingly fabulous excuses for why you're not taking action or not engaging with things directly.
Right, and this is like a huge part of Paradise Lost too, is like God being like, well, like man has to be able to know and make his own choices, because then how will I know faith is sincere if not made in earnest with like all cards on the table?
Right, and this is, beans.
Damn, you're doing great.
And this is also Dante, right? Like the first circle is the people who could have acted but didn't, even though they should have known better, who passed on, who shut up, who passed on the option of utilizing their wonderful human knowledge, right? And acted against him, didn't make use of the gift of reason, because reason is, morals are downstream from reason, because you can reason your way to moral action. Whether you agree with that particular claim about reason and morality or not, like that is the thing that I think is critical to the ignorance element of the conservative project, the reactionary project, is like you have to not know stuff. I just hit a guy. All right, well, guess not. You have to not know stuff, because the more you know, the more you are impelled by reason to act.
Or you do your own research.
Right, well that's the thing, is I think a lot of the doing your own research is
Just not knowing.
a cottage industry for finding false reason to not, to deny the demand for action, right? Like, how much do your own research shit ends up as, here's the real truth of the world, and the real truth of the world is XYZ, and somehow that liberates you from, right, or you have ChatGPT do it, but either way, it liberates you from your position as an actor in the equation of knowledge and of conceptualization. Oh, that was a really good one.
Oh yeah, just farm all decision-making faculties out. I'm just the meat bag. The machine's more me than me.
Yeah, well, and I'm not Yeah, well, exactly.
Sublime experience.
It's a fundamental denial of the sublime for sure, man, because it's like, instead of risking the possibility of truth sort of resituating or challenging or removing from you, your preconceived notions and forcing you to reconcile with that stuff or compel you to ethical action. They just deny the possibility of truth by avoiding it, by farming it out to ChatGPT or, getting knocked down will kill you. ChatGPT or YouTube or TikTok or whatever.
That reminds me of like the first time, I think St. Joshi wrote an intro to a Dunsany collection I have describing Sublime as the feeling of like going into a space of, you know, you can't tell if it's fearful or exciting what you're experiencing, but you're in a zone of like new possibility for like emotional range. And talking about how Dunsany stories did that for him because they weren't these Tolkien-esque good versus evil fantasies. They were something weirder.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's exactly to go back to the thing we were saying before is like, that's that thing of like, I didn't know you could do that with art, right?
Yes.
Like the articulation of possibility. And the reactionary impulse in general, and I think the gamer reactionary impulse in particular, is...
What do you mean there's other tools? Everything's a nail. I am a hammer.
Is to deny deny that articulation of possibility, because the more possibilities there are, the more sort of reckoning with possibility that has to happen, which they like very explicitly do not want to do. Right? I mean, think about, you know, not to be reductive, but like think about the conversation about transness that exists in the world is very like, well, how am I supposed to keep track of all these dang genders?
Yeah.
Right? Like the idea that there would have to be moral and interpersonal considerations that go beyond the stuff they're doing already is like unacceptable. You took too long to turn.
Yep.
It's hard because the camera zooms in such a way that it's hard to know where the next guy is sometimes.
That's why I've been using the cross, because it kind of auto locks.
Yeah.
And it keeps the combo going.
But like the idea that like, yeah, exactly. Like you have to, once you've built, I mean, yeah, whether it's a come to Jesus moment or whatever, once you've built a moral or social system of interpersonal interaction, as soon as a new one presents itself, you kind of can't accept it because it would mean restructuring.
That's a lot of work to do, yeah.
Or redoing your prior one. It would mean re-examining your Bayesian priors, as they say, a thing no one likes to do. No one's ever re-examining their priors. Everyone hates doing that.
Nice, yeah. Nice, keep going.
No!
Oh, okay.
But yeah, people are locked into their priors and reorganizing their... Yeah, I mean... I mean, Wiz, that is an unfortunate,
What's
but
saying?
I think accurate assessment. Well, see, that's the thing is, it is if you're scared of it, but, well, sorry, I started talking to Wiz, then started talking to Elman. Elman, it is if you're scared of it, but that's the thing, right? That's going back to the Beauvoir and Sartre stuff that we were talking about earlier, is that like...
I do... Oh, go ahead.
Freedom is scary, or is internet okay? There we go. Freedom is scary, and people don't want to have that fear, or deal with that fear, or deal with the threats therein. And so you're totally right. They frame it as it's, you know, the cost is so high internally because instead of doing that, you could simply continue the thing that you, the cross thing combo killed me.
I do wonder too about the literal cost, the material cost. Like if you're stuck in a situation economically where you have to delude yourself or you have to continue operating under a certain ideology unless you're going to go broke, bankrupt, or insane, how much that affects the ability to re-examine and shift who you are. what your priors are.
Yeah, that's like a difficult ask, you know, like, yeah, exactly. Freedom, no thanks, I'm full. I'm actually doing okay with this not having sort of any personal agency. It's actually a lot easier for me, and I'm loving the comfort. I mean, like, how much, you know, obviously you mentioned ChatGPT already, but like, how much modern technology is about sort of just deactivating the necessity of choice?
We can get this.
Oh yeah, we've gotten very close a couple times. But like, yeah, how much of it is like just, you know, don't worry, our recommendation algorithm will tell you exactly what sandwich to have.
Feed your dog grapes.
Yeah, well, not just bad information, but like, what did I? Okay.
Yeah, so what was your escape from the cave becomes your foundation for a new one.
Yeah, I mean,
There's always more cave to escape from.
I mean, to a certain degree, right? The reevaluation of priors and stuff is like an endlessly recursive project, like, because there's no.
I do think this feeds into child phobia stuff too, because like the way a kid will question things will break the face of like what an adult assumes about the world.
Yeah, but yeah, I think. Right, Wiz, that is such a perfect example. Yeah, it is.
Thought what ChatGPT told me.
It is what Deleuze would call, oh man, a process of becoming, right? Like,
Yes.
things are always becoming, and so the problem is that beans. You know, it is one of the many God is dead interpretations out there, and Lord knows there's way too many of them.
You're a sad, false
Like, but sorry, Burns texted me and I kind of lost track. Like, talking about Deleuze. What was I just doing?
Becoming oneself.
Yeah, Burns. That's right, to Hamill's Mammal, the big man himself.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah, that like one of the many God is dead interpretations is this idea that one of the ways in which people killed God, or one of the metaphors of God being dead, is that God is made perfect, right? Like the mythology presents God as a perfect being, but perfect beings don't change, and being alive, to be alive is to change. And people want to have their ideas cast in stone and be unchanging, dead things, as opposed to living, breathing concepts. And so there's no surprise that people who live and think that way have weird reactionary negative politics, because they want everything around them to be dead and stuck in place.
No change, we maintain the same face. Uh-oh.
You're a sad, false shell.
I mean, Shelled by Genre, my favorite literature podcast.
Very good show.
Hell yeah, great job to Hamill's Ammo.
We love our podcast here.
My favorite lit podcast, Shelled by Genre, is starting an Alan Moore unit.
Yeah, I saw they're doing V for Vendetta.
It's really good.
I did the book of the New Sun read along. That was very rewarding.
Yeah. But like the V for Vendetta does a lot of this stuff, right? Like this is the whole, I don't think the political imaginary of V for Vendetta is spotless.
Yeah. No, what you've been talking about with like self-becoming does strike me as like a lot of like my takeaway from anarchism as a teen learned through Alan Moore's writing.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know how recently people in the chat have read the book, but there's a part of it that's very good where V shows. Oh, he just blocked both of them. That sucks. Where V shows Evie a magic trick, and the magic trick is like there's a cage with a bunny in it, He takes the thing. He takes the cloth off. The bunny disappears. He puts the cloth back on. He pulls it off, and then the bunny's back, but the cage is gone. But the bunny stays still. And the idea, right, is that the bunny doesn't understand that it can leave, because the idea of leaving and of freedom outside of the structures around it never occurred, like doesn't occur to it. Like it doesn't have that, that's not part of the world as it conceives of it. And that's sort of the same thing with this sort of, and then there's a million other examples of that idea throughout, but that's sort of the same sort of thing we're talking about, where it is better and more comfortable and easier to maintain your priors and to keep, you know, your original cave rather than escaping to a new one and then a new one and then a new one over and over again. And it's much more comfortable to do that. And so people choose that more comfortable approach because that more comfortable approach doesn't make the same demands of them as a more difficult thing. Ah, beans. But I had that one. As you know, as the more rigorous living mentality of constant growth and change. Yeah, that's right, Hamels Amel. Sometimes when I mess up, I say beans.
That was proving effective, though. That does get at the Alan Moore sense of anarchism I was talking about too, where you know, if you don't know what the philosophy or the idea is, you can get this very right-wing explanation told to you through like pop culture media. It's like, oh, anarchism's like there's no state, it's complete anarchy, everything's scary. But I don't know, at least from the works of what Alan Moore's written and what I've read by him and kind of explored lightly because of the stuff he's referenced or talked about, it's more about just like self-education, self-direction, really understanding that like you need to take control of your sense of self because there is like within society so many ideological lenses you'll be subjected to. You know, the structure you're in is going to subject you to its machinations. Damn.
I'm the can, says the Hamels. Yeah, I mean, falling in love or epiphany.
Yeah, Wizworld.
Or epiphany or knowledge or whatever. I think all these things are built up because the idea, again, I think this is like maybe one of the key things here, is the idea that like there is an end point, that like you eventually have a system that accounts for everything, or you have the intellectual grounding for whatever, or like you know the stuff you need to know, and then you are good to go.
You are set forever. You can just let your 401k collect.
Yeah, and that's a myth, right? That never happens. You are, as we were talking about a second ago with Deleuze, like you are always in a process of becoming. So if you're always in a process of becoming, there's no such thing as like the end point where you figure it all out. That just doesn't occur. It's not part of the process. And so the lust for that thing, while real, is obviously a denial of self and a denial of the world. And we hate that. We hate, beans. We hate the denial of the self, we hate the denial of the world. And that process of denial is, you know, obviously self-effacing and harmful, but also intellectually limiting, because the idea is, well, to admit that means that you never actually get that final state of doneness. And if there's no final state of doneness, then what's the reward for doing the intellectual work to build anything? And if there's no reward, why do it? And then instead you get all these people who are, you know, trapped in, oh, you were doing really good, but you got swarmed by baby. Oh, you know what? That actually makes me think of some moves we could do that I haven't tried yet. Shut up. I know.
You're a sad, false shell of
And do good enough to get to the part to try my new ideas. Yeah, I think it's that infatuation with doneness that is a big part of it. And again, like, that is, you know, to go back to kind of what we were saying about
sad, false shell of
infantilization stuff, like,
I don't understand.
that one I didn't get. Maybe you'd already killed them with the first one you threw out, and then the second two didn't hit anyone.
You're a sad, false.
How are you doing that spinning combo? Is that the block and square wall? on the
L2,
ground?
yeah, L2 and square.
Okay.
But yeah, like, that obsession with doneness is, you know, it holds people into a place because they want to assume that they have done it, that they have made it to, that sucks, there's just no one there. I should have just used circle. That they want to, that they've made it to the place they're going, that there is like a destination. And they hate the idea that there's not. And then infantilization stuff makes it so that people don't have to feel like they need to live those challenges, right? This is a very Nietzsche-y thing, that the idea of being alive and the value of being alive comes from the process of being challenged. And that if you're not being challenged, you're living like a less than complete life. It's a very Nietzsche thing, but like, that's, you know, another way to look at this, that people are choosing this sort of incomplete denial of life over a fuller, realer, more significant life because, BRB whiz, because they're choosing to live this, you know, it's just more comfortable to do the alternative, to not be challenged and to not suffer the indignities of possible failure or of incorrectness or whatever.
Yeah. The not being like, why be like, it's interesting. I'm thinking of like challenge, because challenge, you know, in a negative sense, like I don't want to do the labor, or it's going to hurt, or it's going to scare me. I wonder where people get their sense of like what's hard versus what's not from. And I mean, this kind of comes around to video games too. If you think a video game's hard, you think it's worth, you know, in thinking a video game is like a meritocratic like seal of skill, like you're thinking it has a certain difficulty, you're assigning a labor value to it. Yeah, comfort often being like actively pleasurable.
Yeah, I mean, in this context, it's like, in this context, it's just like anything to make shit easier, right? Like, oh, that's a cool move.
Yeah, but it
didn't work, but it was cool. It was
yeah.
a cool fucking move. I love to zorp in a bunch of dead zombie guys to be my weird friends. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's the easiest way to access pleasure, right? It's like, here's this infantilized project, here's this robot that ties your shoes for you and gives you, and you know, here's your fucking AI goth girlfriend who lives in your phone and tells you you're very handsome and she loves having sex with you even though she's a fake object. Like, these are the things that, you know, people produce and they like. People like this stuff, and that's like, you know, fine, but I think the question of why they like it is relevant. I think a big part of why they like it is like,
yeah,
that it's simple, that there is no challenge involved in it.
You get the cute AI girlfriend telling you you're awesome. You get the video game telling you you are the Doomslayer whom all the hell demons fear.
Right, and then you get all that without actually having to be challenged or like engage in difficulty. And the society has like largely become about that particular deal, that proposition that you can both access the joy of success and the joy of overcoming or reward without the unfortunate hassle of doing stuff.
So the purple storm gives you hits when they contact you, if you start with that.
Yeah.
But its cast time's very slow. It's that boy.
I can't believe we're getting rocked by the sowers of discord.
It's mainly just having to keep this combo going.
I mean, it's only that.
We're not working in harmony, which I think both Dante and Milton point out is like what you're supposed to be doing with God. That's when you're working labor you like, and you're not alienated by it. Like you're in sync with your divine purpose. You found harmony with the symphony of the cosmos, and we're too discordant right now.
It's unfortunately true.
I'm giving it a go.
So dang discordant, SDD baby. What's up, RFM? How are you doing?
Yeah, welcome, Radio Free Multiverse. Good to see you.
What's up, dude? We're just talking about. We're kind of talking around my theory of the great and smoothening, frankly.
Yeah.
But
smooth brain, striated brain.
yeah, well, the great and smoothening is a different thing, which is this idea that that society has become built to increasingly atomize people by reducing any kind of interpersonal friction or tension. Mm-hmm. That, like, you know, if you need a question answered, you can go and ask ChatGPT to tell you the thing. And if you need an image, you can talk to Midjourney. And if you need a movie, an AI will just make it for you. And also, if you need food, it can just be DoorDashed to you. You don't have to talk to anyone. And also, if you need a ride, you can just take a Waymo, so you don't need to engage with anyone. And that increasingly, capitalism in general and society in particular is sort of building itself around the idea. Okay. Next time it's my turn, I'm not doing any more theory.
Okay.
Next time it's my turn, I'm going to talk about like dogs and farts, or you just go off on something.
I feel like if I compound turns, my muscle memory will stick with me better, honestly.
All right, you can try 2 in a row, and then.
If you want to get all the theory out before then.
But yeah, so it's like, I'm going to do my best. Henry can just go off on something, or chat, give me some kind of thing to talk about that doesn't involve the shit we've been talking about for an hour. Because this is like really my area of study in a lot of ways. So we're really cooking in the Lux space, but it makes it harder for me to liberate Dante's soul from the dangers of Inferno is the problem. But yeah, so the great and smoothening, like, yeah, it is like that, which you should sometimes do. Oh no, Elman, I think you're pushing towards a thing that I think is super. I mean, there's a ton of literature about this stuff. It's very real. It's obviously, like I said, of a piece with one of like my core personal projects. It's in smoothening stuff. Like, I think you're moving in a direction that I think is significant and is like, you know, the kind of thing I think more people should be talking about. Because I think a lot of people are talking about how bad AI is in very practical ways, but are not discussing how bad the sort of social organization that AI implies and that generates AI is.
The impulse to want a slave is alive and well.
Yeah, well, there's that, and then also just like the impulse to just not want other people. Like, the whole hell is other people thing is being taken to a degree that's like very silly to me.
Yeah, because if anything, I subscribe to the idea that the way we get out of hell is by first having someone we can share the experience with, and we can agree and map it out and navigate our way through. Like, you need other people to map the territory with you.
The secret is that hell is other people, because other people are a necessary condition for a lot of certain kinds of suffering, but also are a necessary condition for the amelioration of lots of kinds of suffering. And you kind of have to deal with the fact that sometimes people are good and sometimes they're bad, and that it's like a little bit more that it's like a little bit more complicated than just sort of like everyone's so annoying, so I gotta go live in my hole. Like, you don't get to do that. I mean, you can, then you end up being like that weird guy who started the poor person's crusade, and then everyone dies in Bulgaria.
Sad, false shell of
I don't know about you, but I would prefer not to die in a Balkan nation. If I'm gonna die, it's not happening in the Balkans. That's what I'm gonna say. You can quote me on that. That's a Lux promise from me to you, that if I die, it will not be in the Balkans. And if I die in the Balkans, you can tell everyone I said that, and you can tell everyone that everyone's allowed to be mad at me for it.
All right, no theory.
All right, no theory, no anti-Balkan racism. Let's go. All right, Henry, you can go off on something.
But yeah, this is what I think I favor in character action games and video games in general, that at least give you the illusion of choice or ask you to kind of figure things out on your own in an ambiguous way. It has been very annoying in Doom Eternal how every boss they directly give you the instructions on what its weak points are, what to do when it's blinking. There's extremely bright, flashy, just like put the square peg in the square hole at this exact moment. And it feels to me like a product I don't think a child would enjoy. It feels more like reassuring for a 45-year-old who just remembers video games. Because there's so many elements in Doom that feel like satanic nostalgia. And what I mean by that is it's nostalgia for a thing where the original object didn't have those features. Something very interesting about Doom Eternal is how much Super Mario Bros. Is in it. In the original Doom, there was no vertical access to look on. You didn't jump. You navigated dungeons like it was an RPG. You found keycards in a non-linear fashion. A huge part of it was exploring the levels. Doom Eternal is full of jump puzzles. It's full of platforming. It's full of weird fireballs you have to dodge. It has lives and continues, where the other games in the franchise have never done that. And it feels like more of a generalized slurry of like, remember retro video games? And I bring up the satanic in it because, keep going, yeah.
You're in the middle of one?
Yeah, and I bring up the satanic in it because it brings to the idea this thing in Paradise Lost I find extremely hilarious, which is, it's the old Einstein adage of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting similar results. Milton's Satan is extremely hilarious because despite clearly losing against God in the very let's just go very swords and sorcery fantasy here, just talking on pure power scale levels, the dude gets wiped by the strongest being in the canon, and his whole thought is like, well, let's do it again, let's go it again. And throughout the poem, as he's trying to do it again, his form just keeps degrading. He goes from angel to demon to general to serpent, serpent by choice. Eventually, by the end of the poem, he's going to be stuck in that form because he, surprise, surprise, loses once again to the big man. And so just that stubborn insistence on not learning, not re-examining yourself, not changing your priors, it's something that comes up in the book 9 of Paradise Lost after Adam and Eve bite from the apple. They both just start blaming each other, and the book ends with them in vain argument, neither self-reflecting, and so it causes the argument to go on ad infinitum.
I will say this is a good riff, but just to quickly interject to Wizworld, We will not be balkanized until everyone is drinking weird, sour, yogurt-based beverages and eating smoked fish. And like, that's when the game ends. Whatever you're talking about is a step on the path. But until there's strange smoked fish and milk-based beverages and, you know, guys selling really, really weirdly colorful jeans and those sort of patchwork color jackets on every street corner, we will not be balkanized. And that's just the way it is.
A tour of American flea markets 2033.
Until every teenager's jacket looks like a puffy, like you're looking through a light, like you're looking through a prism at like a rainbow, but imposed on a puffy jacket. And everyone has a bunch of, you know, oh, these babies just don't get born quick enough. Everyone has like obviously knockoff designer stuff where everyone's wearing like Choach flip-flops and Garmani sweaters. Then we will be balkanized.
Garmani.
Then we'll be balkanized, and only then.
I use the phrase satanic nostalgic again in reference to Milton's take on Satan, because even the way that poem opens is Beelzebub and Satan as voices in the lake of fire, remembering their former glories. And so much of it is about trying to attain something that was lost, but was never really theirs.
Yeah, paradise.
Paradise? Even in rebelling, it's like, what are you fighting for? You're just turning heaven into a hell itself. And again, so much of that poem is like Barton Fink, dealing with head puns, head cases, the head office. Hell is within the head of Lucifer wherever he goes. Just because you refuse to look inside the head, you can't get past the thing you realize you're never gonna get.
I think that was the closest we've come.
That was pretty close. We've gotten to that armored guy a few times, but
I know. I thought I had him.
Keep going. I feel if we compound turns, it helps with the muscle memory better.
I thought I had him dead city that time.
Hoping to get you into a flow state, get you in harmony with everything.
That's a critical plot component of my beloved Blue Lock, the acquisition of the flow state.
The flow state. Blue Lock's the soccer anime?
Yeah, and manga.
Manga, yeah.
Oh, what?
You had Raising Cane's chicken 2 days ago, and you're asking now what you should eat.
Raising Cane's.
Go for more canes. I don't know. What are you trying to do with your diet, Hamels Mammal? Is there anything you're aiming for? Anything you want to experience? Or you just going for comfort?
It's never a terrible idea to get some 7 out of 10 chicken tenders, is what I'm saying.
I get extra bread and sauce. I don't do fries.
Yeah, their fries aren't that good, but the sauce is very good.
I like making little sandwiches. Just to let you know, we still like our fast food.
Right. I know that you guys are talking about the soft secession attorney general stuff that's happening, and that's true. That's real. But what are they wearing? What are they listening to? Is it the highest BPM dog shit you've ever heard of? Because if it's not balkanization. It's sparkling disunity. Like, the words mean things.
I'm curious to look more into this Attorney General thing. I was busy catching up on reading for both these streams, so I've been both behind in comics and news, but I did see that he showed up today after like a 50-minute delay. He looked horribly tanned.
Yeah, he looked a little overmade up, but it wasn't. People were making a bigger deal how he looked than it was. It was funny. He got a sports thing wrong, which is always really funny to me.
Tikka masala. D. Hamels Mammal, do you have any good Mediterranean near you, or access to lamb?
Or access to land that you could use to quickly raise an animal.
Kefir is spreading.
You know kefir is different. You know that's not the same thing. Although it is the start, it's the beginning. I will give you that it's the beginning, because I do think that actually kefir is the origin point for all the weird Slavic beverages.
I do. Well, I was about to say kombucha, but that's not milk based. But still, we gotta get the weirder farm made beverages.
KFC's not better than Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's strong disagree to Hamels.
Although I do like the classic bowl.
I will get me.
Now I'm just imagining all of the like the AG of Illinois, like looking over a map of sort of vaccine guidelines and like distribution avenues while listening to just like Gabber. Just like listening to just like some insanely like
the Spotify leaks that happened a few weeks ago, where there's like the playlist we saw with like what Vance listened to and others, or was that just Congress people?
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about the Balkans and the way that the Balkans are. All right, you should go for it. We'll
Taking over.
One day we should get lunch at. We should get lunch before the stream at. I mean, Mediterranean hookah does go crazy.
Yeah.
We should get lunch at the food truck that's not too far from here, the one by Spider House. Yeah, that's right. You can dox us. We're not that far from Spider House.
That's so specific.
That sells Palestine cola.
Palestine Cola?
Yeah.
Which, I'm curious what food truck that is, yeah.
It's the one in the parking lot of the gas station.
That is so specific. Is there a Mediterranean, just a Mediterranean place? I think I may have been there and just not noticed or ordered a drink.
I mean, there's like 3 in that area.
Yeah, there's a place a little down the road, right by
But there's one
Spider
that's
House.
right
It's
in the
open
gas
pretty
station.
late.
Yeah, there's one right at the gas station that sells Palestine cola. I think it's Abu Omar is what it's called.
Okay, no.
Are you ready? You're a sad, false shell of a man.
Tree blocks. Yeah, shout out to Al Zaytuna in El Paso. I don't know if it's still around, but in my college days, that was a great place to go get hookah, hummus, falafel, just chat with my English major friends.
Okay, actually, I've done a little bit of research about the sour milk, the Balkan sour milk drink. And kefir is not the start, so I'm still not sold on this. It's from Turkey. It's not from what the British would call Asia Minor. It's a different kind of thickened milk drink. For one thing, kefir is like kind of good, and ayran is bad, in my opinion. That was slick. That was well done. Oh, I thought that was a really good move though, because then...
Yeah. Kefir's from Turkey?
Yeah, no, kefir is from... I think it's not Palestine, but it's in that region. But ayran is from Turkey and spread east from there into the Balkans.
You're a sad, false shell of a man.
I just learned from my quick research that sometimes people put pepper in it, which I've never had, but sounds also bad. But I also just don't like sour drinks. I think it's weird to drink a sour drink. Is that a hot take? Is that a strange position to take?
I think when it's milky and sour, it's weird. I'll have like a sour beer or a sour soda though.
Bro does not get a sour at the brewery. That's true.
You're a sad, false
Yeah, sour alcohol's fine.
Yeah, I don't drink a sour. I don't drink a goze.
That pushback, I gotta stay away from. Do you want to try?
No, give a shot.
Okay.
We gotta beat this guy. I thought we were cruising towards potentially beating this game.
we were
cruising towards
getting
potentially
there.
beating this game today. Now I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a go home time technically because there's no Forrest stream tonight because Forrest is sick, even though I'm not.
No, COVID?
I don't think so. I assume if he had COVID, he would have said, I don't want anyone else getting COVID. I don't want anyone else getting whatever I have.
Okay.
But, you know, who knows? Because Forrest sometimes just says things in a weird way because of how he is. Whoa. Can join Sour Patch Twins.
I was about to say, did you get a shape that the factory didn't want you to have? The option C?
You're a sad.
Yeah, I accessed the unintentional excess of the production framework. I went Bataille mode. No, hard cider is one of those things
Tis becoming the
that
season.
okay, not here.
No, yeah, it's still summer here.
It's still uncomfortably summer here, and I hate it so much. But hard cider is one of those things that like I like it a lot. I always enjoy it when I drink it, and then oh my god, that was so frustrating. And I just like don't go out of the way to drink it ever. And then whenever I like am somewhere where someone's like, oh yeah, I got a couple beers, but I got mostly hard ciders and stuff. And then I drink a hard cider, I'm like, oh, this shit's so good. Why don't I drink this all the time? And then when I'm going out to buy drinks, I'm always like, well, I guess it's time for a beer or some kind of tequila concoction. And then I don't get a hard cider. And I do this endlessly. I'm suffering this self-imposed punishment. I recently read a good book about hell, by the way.
Which book?
I read R.F. Kuang's new novel, Catabasis.
Ooh, what's that about?
Two academic magicians in a world where magic is a thing you do at grad school. I mean, I know someone named Sarah who spells like that, and she does like ciders. So you're technically right, actually. To Hamill's name, well, that was actually an accurate statement. That statement was true. But anyway, so like magic's like an academic pursuit, and the protagonist inadvertently kills their professor, and so she and another student go to hell to get him back. And then it turns out there's a lot more going on there than just what I've described. There's like a lot more plot happening than just, they have to go through hell and there's all the different circles and they learn all this stuff. And then also there's like other, character narrative things happening. Oh, how does that not count? When did I break this? Come on.
I didn't want to talk to you about the thing because you seem to be in a flow state there.
Yeah, well, sometimes just rambling kind of helps me loosen up and just kind of do it. But, yeah, so that's the story of that book. It's pretty good. It's the same problem as her other novel that I read recently, which is that it sort of seems really worried that the people reading it won't grasp its like larger structural critiques, which is crazy because they're very sort of obvious and present and well constructed.
Which author is this?
R.F. Kuang.
R.F. Kuang.
Sure, this book called Babel is the other one of hers that I read. And so it spends a lot of time kind of hand-holding you through its big ideas. And that's very frustrating because that hand-holding kind of gets in the way of some of the better dramatic moments where you kind of just want the themes to sort of play themselves out dramatically on the page instead of you know, in parallel narration. Like, you'd rather just have the characters doing things that embody the ideas, or like the scene is embodying the idea, but the narrator's like, just in case you don't understand, the scene is embodying this idea. And it's like,
hey, if you haven't figured it out, this is what I'm telling you.
yeah, and it's like, just do the thing. The thing is good. I'm liking the thing. Just keep doing it. I love casinos.
I was about to ask you about the ethics of casinos and choice.
They're bad. The moral component of them is definitely deeply flawed. They're not good.
But
They're
what if
probably,
you're good at making bets?
well, that's what I say, because I am. But no, they're like, the moral component, like, the moral argument against is fairly clear, which is that, like, they're designed in such a way. I mean, like I said, I love going to casino, but they are clearly designed in such a way as to manipulate your choice-making capacity, or at least like influence your choice-making capacity. And so by influencing your choice-making capacity, right, they're impinging on your ability as an agent to like do things. Oh. Yeah, I mean, at RFM, they're definitely evil is the thing. Our friend Rory,
I like table games, I don't like slots.
Our friend Rory, who I'm sure one day will come do this with us because he lives nearby and isn't doing anything most of the time. That's not true. He's very busy all the time.
Yeah, he's a very busy artist.
But he goofs off a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm sure one day we can get him to come hang out, or at least get him on the Discord. He and I have talked a lot about the idea that, like, casinos, like gambling should only be allowed in spaces that suck. Like,
yeah, I'm a big, I don't know how much of a Chapo head you are, but like, I think Will Miniker at one point said one of his most right-wing opinions is that like gambling, like sports gambling, pornography should be legal, but you should have to do it offline. Like you have to go to the place to do it.
Yeah, it should definitely be offline. And the casinos, yeah, ain't that the damn truth with RFM? I know that's right.
Oh yeah, RFM right there with you.
Yeah. I got one
Media production degree, rise up.
I got one of those, as well as the philosophy guy, and they both are useless most of the time.
Do you want me to take over?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I think you should have to do it offline, and it should have to be in like a dirty, smoky, dog shit building where everyone's sad and the vibes are terrible. And it can't be like some overlit, super fancy zone where people are serving you drinks and like little hummus treats or whatever. And if they are serving you drinks, the people serving you the drinks have to be like not cool and appealing to be around, but like kind of scary. Yeah, exactly. Mask, hello, and also yes, you're so right. Oh, those damn babies. Yeah, it should be miserable.
You're a sad, false shell of a...
Oh man, good to hear. Welcome to the collection of people with some sort of media studies background.
Yes.
You're a sad, false shell of a...
Yeah, I mean, I think that's... And you won $7 in Powerball largely because of your production degree, right? Oh wait, this is a historian.
Oh, so
a legitimate historian.
Understood the numbers and where they were going because he saw where they went.
You're a sad, false shell of a...
I do think having the bachelor's in digital media production for the few times I've like gotten a resume job, like now it's mostly like through word of mouth and contacts I get work, but like I do think it helped me with like my foot in the job, my foot in the door gigs to some extent. But I did a lot of learning outside of my media degree for stuff that I do at my media jobs. Honestly, I didn't even see a C stand in my production classes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point, man. This Dante is neutral.
The hollow myth of meritocracy.
You're a sad, false shell of a...
What? Not get taken by some of the media-related scams? Okay, I can see that. Like in understanding the... in understanding how TV lies to you, you can hopefully avoid some of that.
You're a sad, false shell of a... You're a sad, false shell of a...
Ice bongs are cool.
Are you ready?
Oh, that was a very good one.
We keep pressuring.
I mean, the history degree also enables all of the crazy shit that you make online with. Like, I think that it's done some good stuff. My weird made-up degree that basically constitutes 3 degrees, I don't know, I don't think it helps at all, but it's neat that I have it. I mean, I guess the skills from those, yeah, oh man, that is extremely distressing.
It makes me more marketable.
I mean, just the skills of, you know, the stuff you pick up in film philosophy and creative writing as a 3-part process, I think have a lot of applicability in the world.
Babies.
You're a sad, false shell of a...
What? I was hitting things. I know, D. Hamels, man, I'm full of shame right now. We're not real gamers, I guess. We're fake gamer men.
This is a really difficult one.
I'm surprised this is on Critical Path.
I mean, they're all, you know,
False shell of a...
Yeah, we honestly belong in the fraud hole.
That is where, yeah. Well, we're in the 8th circle, which is all kinds of fraud, but what brand of fraud are we?
What are we? Are we false witnesses?
We're not, it's not simony. We're not selling salvation
Yeah,
here.
we're not popes. We're kind of sowers of discord, but that's not really related to us being bad at the game. I think we're something like the false witnesses. Like, we're presented as gamers who know what they're doing, but in fact are getting dog walked by Dante's Inferno 2011.
Are you ready?
How did I screw up the combo there?
You're a sad, false shell of a
But I hit them with magic. All right, Lex, I'm going to pass this off after one more try.
Okay.
I've been a hog. I've been a glutton. I'm depriving you of your ability to practice your skills on the game. Oh, here you go. I find if you can get them all into a corner and do the purple tornado, it's pretty self-sustaining as a combo feed.
You're a sad, false shell of
Yes, it is a Sin Master Mask. We definitely got through the weird tongue world that featured all kinds of gluttons. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen the, what is it, the flatterers are stuck in excrement, just drowning in it.
We saw them. They were just, they aren't, here's the thing. They aren't giving us the full Malabolgia experience.
They are.
We're just landing on platforms that have statues of the different Malabolgia punishments.
We aren't really going through the ditches and seeing the trenches.
We aren't really going for hopping in the back of our Dragula.
Like I do yeah. I take out them babies. Smart.
Oh.
Maybe throw crosses after.
Yeah, I think so. To Hamill's name, I think RFM is talking about a different Emily than your parents' cat.
Just in the back of them.
My favorite line from Dragula is the part where he goes, "Devil on my back, I can never die." That's a cool thing to say, in my opinion.
I like saying I am the rat that feasts upon the cat.
And I am the rat, feast upon the cat. Those are our two different.
Oh, redundant names, eh?
There's two forests in the rotation mask. There's RFM and Forest Walker.
The Goblin. Speedy recovery, Forest.
Yeah, prayers up to Forest Walker, who has some kind of illness, which means there's no Pixel Goblins tonight. Hopefully there will be Thursday. I was once an Emily like you.
How do these delays... I'm trying to figure out the recoil delay because it seems generous sometimes, other times it's like, why is nothing registered?
I think if you get...
You get some kind of like knockback, Grace, I think.
Oh, I said we
Yeah.
had too long.
Need to convert those hits to magic crosses, Lux.
I think RFM is not sick. Although, who am I to say for
Yeah,
sure?
RFM, how you feel? Are you well in sound state of mind today? Aw,
That was kind of a funny move, though.
you were kind of just blunt hammering for a moment there. Sick
Well,
as fuck.
sick with it and physically ill. It's an important distinction to draw. I am not. Don't put in the newspaper that I'm a sad, sick, false shell of a man.
Beatrice is gonna burn book Dante.
All right, dude.
All right.
Take a couple more shots.
All right.
I have to answer some messages.
You're a sad, false shell of a
Down with the sickness, not consumed with the pox. You know what? What circle of hell would Frank Sinatra be in?
Probably gluttony, right?
What about fraud against art?
I don't know if he did any of that, although he did do a lot of regular fraud.
I think he'd be in one of the lower levels.
You're a sad, false shell of a
What about every American president?
I mean, they go fraud.
At minimum, yeah.
I mean, they can't go to the real deep one. They didn't kill Caesar or Jesus. And that's like the only way you get to the real bottom is if you kill Caesar and or Jesus.
Are you ready?
I think you need to pop the blue slutty guy there.
The blue slutty guy?
The like,
Oh, yes,
the, like
yes,
Iceman
yes,
attack
yes,
to chase
magic.
to close distance to the big boy.
You're a sad, false shell of a
All right, goodbye to Hamill's Mammal, and we'll never disrespect Mask for Mask. That's one thing we guaranteed. Unless Mask for Mask decides to start doing this balkanization bullshit. This is my new position. Is that
Balkanization and balkanized?
we can't refer to the fractured America as balkanization because there's no Balkan culture.
What should it be called?
You're a sad, false
I don't know, fracturing.
Are you getting a phone call?
To my phone? Spam risk? I don't think so, buddy.
You're a sad, false shell of a Are you ready for the truth?
I'm not good. I'm no Frankie, unfortunately, Mask. I can't do Peter Griffin that good. Oh.
I think he was okay. Okay. We're doing this. I'm gonna continue pushing this rock up this hill. I'm happy. I'm Sisyphus.
You're a sad, false shell of a
I even killed the big guy. Okay.
I think we have the coin of Plutus. Actually, maybe yeah. Actually, check our relics. Let's see if maybe there's a relic that can help us here.
We do not have the coin of Plutus. Grab attack damage increase.
Go down. That was one that seemed
block
very
attacks.
useful. No.
Increase down. That'll kill things faster though.
Okay, maybe that one. But wait, go down. I thought it was another. Oh well, try that one. Then
Okay.
I can look on my turn.
You're a sad, false shell of a man. Are you ready?
I was about to say L1 triangle there, but before I could even get it out of my damn mouth.
I'm gonna do a gear check real quick.
I'm gonna do a gear check really quick because there was one that I looked. There's one that I thought looked kind of good.
That's 2,500.
Okay.
Oh, go back down to that hand one?
Yeah. I have an idea.
You're a sad.
Is this just a Shin Megami Tensei where we need to change our equipment?
Never stop, only crosses.
Right.
They can't be interrupted, they do increase damage. I must only do cross attacks.
Oh, get him. Yeah, yep.
Are you
Keep going. Wow.
Hell yeah, what's good?
Lux, you did it.
And I did it without touching either control stick and only pressing circle the whole time.
That's some good RC Cola there.
Sometimes with video games,
Yeah, we already have that one.
you can overcomplicate it.
Yeah. All the talk about not re-examining ourselves, and we just thought we were Scythe boys.
Yeah.
But it turns out cross is the way. You might have to make a jump. Oh,
Good thing I didn't, because I wanted to hit my vape.
who we got here? Mira.
No, you're not allowed to do that. I don't care what the Nelk boys say. Incest is bad.
Do they say that? I'm only familiar with them because of the one
I forget.
BB incident. That is, what the fuck?
I forget. I think the Flagrant ones, or no, not the Flagrant ones, the Flagrant podcast.
I know Burns was watching Flagrant with that one philosopher, and they got way too into the trolley problem.
Yeah, well, that was in the context of an incest conversation. Which raises like a myriad of other questions, but whatever.
Is this the end? Are we at the bottom? Like,
I don't know, but I want to find Ugolino. Yeah.
Super duper hell with the incestuous.
Yeah, you don't get to.
The final ditch.
Oh, the final ditch.
Of the fakes, society's plague, who suffer for eternity in disease.
So like SMT, we really just need to change gear.
Well, I should have jumped on top of the fire. That was a mistake.
Just kill all enemies. Okay. There's just a lot of enemies to kill.
Did you think your strength alone would be enough to impress me?
I mean, what else is this a test of? If not my strength alone.
Yeah. So we came close a few times to almost doing that scythe bit. I mean, that previous combo bit with just the scythe. So the complete malleability of just changing some gear. Damn. I didn't think that was possible. You know.
I didn't think that could be done. All right, well, I need you to get R2 mode, or just die. I guess that's fine too.
You know, there's a lot less people here telling Dante to write their story down and to remember them in verse.
Now they're really more invested in him deciding whether they go to heaven or not.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get to see the Sodomites, at least not yet.
I have a feeling the Sodomites may not make it into this one.
Dang. Yes, destroy the wizard.
I love this fucking free jazz.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
crazy.
this? What is this? This is the saxophone.
This music is like fucking. This reminds me of House. It kind of reminds me of House of Decline's old band Zombie Jazz.
It reminds me of some of Isan, the Emperor guitarist solo stuff. He starts getting into weird like black metal jazz.
Yeah, it does. It sounds a little bit like Black Pus. And we love Black Pus around here, folks.
Boom. Rip. You have your little devil trigger mode, although I don't know how much longer you have to endure. Oh, she'll see to it that your enemies grow stronger. Cool, cool, cool.
I'm glad. Make sure someone's on top of that.
Yeah. Also remember you have magic. Your mana bar is pretty full.
Yeah, I want to do as much as I can without tipping into resource stuff, just because oh no, started this with less than full health.
Yeah, you're about halfway.
Because on the way down here, I jumped on top of a fire and just sort of stood there for a while, not realizing what was happening. Oh, jeez.
This dude really is kind of shit.
Put me down, you big guy eater. You big devourer of lads. All right, kill that thing.
The structure of this, though, even though it has been off book, because this is something I asked Jacob in regards to Doom Eternal as we're playing through. It's like, if it wasn't called Doom, would it still like attract the same attention? Would it feel like its own thing under another name? And the kind of conclusion we came to is no, not really. This, despite going off book and not being called, like, I think this would succeed if not called Dante'S Inferno.
Yeah, I think so. I think this has cool stuff in it that's cool enough that it would hold up.
As a coherent set of Crusader Guide combat stuff, yes. That Sekiro parry is so nice. I was thinking about that in regards to, like, I wasn't receptive to this game when it came out because it just seemed like EA kind of cashing in on an idea.
On a very stupid idea.
Yeah, and I do think this game's fun. If there's any sin it's committed, it's maybe not a decade late, but just It's a good amalgamation of this genre. It's a good collection of 6 gen tropes of this genre into like a coherent and playable package. You know, when it came out, I didn't feel like it was anything new, and it's a generation behind. Like God of War 3 was doing some huge set piece stuff in comparison to what this is doing. You know, even late PS2 era games like God Hand were getting really kooky with the mechanics and the what you can do combo-wise in these things. But I mean, this is a good representative, like, average of like what video gaming was at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a type of thing. And it's always cool to play a game that represents a specific type.
And just to see that, like, while it was in the milieu of like big AAA blockbuster spectacle, here are your QTEs, here are your choices. I don't know, it's not as handholdy as Doom Eternal, and it just makes me wonder, like, between the two, what changed in design?
Well, I do think that, like,
And also just the market.
increasingly, like, games do want to be handholdy. Like, I think handholdiness has gone from a kind of perceived negative. It's polarized, right? Like, obviously you've got Dark Souls and Bloodborne, Sekiro and shit that are the opposite, that have no interest in being super duper handholdy games.
You have like the whole genre of like immersive simulator where like the whole point is to kind of fuck up, see what the consequences are, and readjust plans. Nice.
Give me your wings, you jerk.
Clip them. Is this the final guy?
Dunno. Only way to find out is to kill him and see if anyone else shows up.
Yep. What you gonna do? You gonna save him?
Yeah. He didn't sign up to be the last guy in a challenge of trying to make me go crazy with rage.
I do find the Horn Dudes interesting in that there's creatures in the 8th level. Like, the Horn Dudes have been attacking us all game, so it's not like this is following the canon of the game, but their design reminds me of the creatures that drive the pimps and seducers in the 8th level. It's a very Krampus-style beast that's kind of reversed the power situation they had in life.
Well, isn't that kind of what we saw when Beatrice showed up? That they're pulling her chariot?
Yeah. They've kind of been little demon archons this whole time. And to its credit, a big appeal of the poem is it is almost a bestiary.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some bestiary qualities to it for sure.
And are you dealing with them the right way, or you just got to wait for them to be physical?
I'm missing a lot. I'm just showing the gun.
There you go, getting away where they can't get behind you.
I should have pulled the trigger when they're actually manifested instead of when they're smoke.
Nice. Well managed.
You're annoying me.
Nice. Oh.
think this might be new.
No, she's sick. He's new to this chapter, but Beatrice.
Oh yeah, this is the guy you fought when you were fighting Beatrice before. Yeah. I remember this now.
I don't like when games on like a visual level like try to emulate the cinematic, because you just get stuff like in Red Dead 2 where all you're doing is slapping a widescreen filter on cutscenes. I do like when scores get cinematic, because you get stuff like this, which is very fun.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
Again, the horns going crazy.
Noble enemy, you get to be absolved.
Great work, Lux.
Whoop! Whoop!
Do we just go down to the 9th hole and fight Satan, or is there a boss to get out of the 8th hole and into the 9th?
Oh, only time will tell. Can't believe we didn't find Ugolino. He's my favorite guy in the whole book.
Oh.
Into the 9th circle of hell. Look into the dark, cold realm of traitors.
Who did Dante betray?
Beatrice.
Who is responsible? Take care of her, sister. I'm responsible.
Oh.
Prepare to march tonight. When the noble Saladin learns of this atrocity, he will bring forth the forces of hell.
You condemned my brother to death for your crime. What is your answer to this treachery?
Is that a betrayal?
I give up on this journey. My place is here in hell. Yours is in paradise. I am truly sorry for what I have done. May you one day forgive me.
My cross.
Beatrice.
You've done well, Dante. And though you may not understand it now, you have saved much more than this innocent soul. For your role in the ongoing battle is more important than you can possibly imagine.
What?
Yeah.
Understand.
Your redemption is near.
Wait. I have to take care of her. I have done this.
No, she's been saved, dude.
You will see her again.
Like a literal angel is taking her to heaven. I don't know how much more reassurance you need. But yeah, I'm curious what the story is going to say. Oh. He was kind of coming through a little low. That was weird.
Yeah, I do not hear our boy. I don't hear anything on mine.
I vaguely hear him in the distance.
I don't hear any audio. Can you bring my audio back, possibly?
What's coming through? Let me see.
I'm not hearing anything on mine.
Nothing at all?
No, zero. Please, 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 please. Oh.
Anything now?
Nope. Yeah, you're getting punished. You're bad boy. Oh, I had static for a second.
Do you have some now?
No. Yeah, now I do.
Okay. I think, is this the end? Is the big man just right below? Well, we're descending into treachery.
Well, we have about an hour to find out. Otherwise, we're going to find out tomorrow. Am I tomorrow? I mean next week.
Next week. Tune in next time.
We have another hour, so we'll see.
Folks, we're about to find out if Satan is in video games.
For the first time ever.
True to form, it's frozen. That's nice.
I mean, if you did Dante's Inferno and hell, the bottom of hell was not frozen, you'd have to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, that would be preposterous. Oh, yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Folks, I highly suggest looking up the El Malpais National Park. It's a national park in New Mexico. It is a dormant volcano. There's a cave system underneath it, and at the bottom of that cave system is a frozen lake. I've been talking a lot about Cormac McCarthy in reference to Paradise Lost, because Blood Meridian and The Road are all over Paradise Lost. But something taken from Dante's Inferno and Blood Meridian is that the Malpais, the frozen lake, that is where the Glanton gang finds Judge Holden, who, as I've been explaining during Paradise Lost, has more than one instance in that book where he's likened to the satanic or Milton Satan. Don't fall. Oh, it's one of those levels.
Okay, that's sick. I want to try again.
Okay.
Have you ever read Stephen Brust's novel, To Reign in Hell?
I have not.
That might be excellent. News about the cat. That might be a fun one to read and talk about on the stream, because it is sort of a Paradise Lost style battle for heaven, written as a high fantasy novel.
Okay.
And it's very cool.
It's called Rain in Hell.
Yeah, I would reread it for sure. And honestly, it's probably short enough that we wanted to. We could probably try and just read it by next week.
Keep going. If we're still playing, yeah.
And if people who I know, Mask and others, read along sometimes with our stuff, well, you don't have to read, you guys don't need to read the whole thing, but we could read it and then talk about it.
Yeah.
Or if we wanted to do it as a slower read, we could do that too. And we could look for a different Hell game to play in the interim.
We will have some, we'll see what happens once we're done with Doom Eternal and this here as far as escaping Hell. The seasons are shifting, and I kind of wish to get into something colder and cooler, although, hey, right now.
Hey, we're in freeze time.
Right. But McCarthy selected El Malpais as the place to meet oh, damn.
Damn, alright.
In part because of the frozen lake beneath. Lux, what's your favorite number?
8 usually.
Because of the luck associated with it? I like a nice solid 5. Something about prime numbers, but it being a large enough group for activities.
I like 8 because if you flip it sideways, it's an infinity.
Ah. The wind. I do like that, considering the generation it's from, there's not like a lot of, like brown and bloom. It's still a very colorful game in its presentation.
Oh yeah.
For the maturity it's trying to go for with the nudity and the violence and the gore, it's not trying to do like a grainy textural realism. Oh, okay. Weird, this guy's still alive. Hello. Okay.
Nice. And I gotta do the long. You gotta get far out there to hit that thing with a stick. Hit again. There you go. X and R1. There we go.
Icy ground.
Treachery.
Oh, wait. Let's see if we can hear him this time.
waited eternity for this emancipation. No force can stop me! What a feeble creation you people are! I've waited eternity for this emancipation! No force can stop me! I've waited eternity for this emancipation! liberated! No force can stop me! What a feeble creation you people are! I've waited eternity for this emancipation! I am liberated! No force can stop me! Man, what a feeble creation you people are! I've waited eternity for this emancipation! I've waited eternity.
Yes, the big guy is Brian Cox.
We have a lot of
Radio
souls you
free.
could spend if you want. You could actually go boost your health and magic if you wanted.
Smart.
On either side. We should have to do health probably. We can only afford one.
There's a 4,000, yeah.
Undeniably so to Hamill's Mammal. I didn't realize that the Borges story, The Wait, is about Ugolino and Ruggieri.
I've never read that one. The Wait?
Yes.
Ooh, yes. Extra relic slot. Okay, so what do we have? Yes, okay. I'm just supercharging our crosses with our extra gear slot.
The Wait, also known as The Waiting. It's the one. It's the one where the guy goes to Argentina because of like a mob boss conflict, and he like reads Dante all day, and has dreams about the hitmen, and he assumes they're gonna come kill him one day, and eventually they do. Framp. What's good, Framp? Well, kind of a Framka Jansen. R2?
Getting there.
I think you just fired from like far. You can fire further away, I think.
Okay.
Ghost Bro, you have, I don't know how much you were watching, but you have, if you just got here and you're saying hell is other gamers, you really have summed up a huge amount of the stream in simply one sentence.
No, but I can be Dark Souls, so I should be president. I can bench press more than Zoharan. I should be mayor of New York.
We spent solidly 30 minutes on gamer epistemology and its antisocial tendency and how much it sucks. And then also talked about SART and no exit for a while. Like, truly, absolute bullseye.
How did you know?
Yeah, that's really crazy. Really great job, you. You said the devil's in the details. I said the devil's in the damn emails. Hillary's emails.
Cool. All right.
You are the best, Dante. Many have tried.
See, even Satan has called us the best.
Brave Ulysses, the great Alexander, Attila, Lancelot. Only you possessed a soul black enough to free.
Oh. Oh, is that why I'm down here?
I gave my soul to free Beatrice, not you.
Did you really think this was all about the girl? She was the bait.
Ah.
Your soul is free now. Only you and I remain.
Come for me, holy warrior. Come, fulfill your destiny.
To free Satan.
To be free.
That was a cool maneuver from Satan, I gotta admit. Yeah, I guess Lucifer was driving Satan like a mech. That is a great point. Beyond, like, between that and the fashion advice thing, I think you really clocked the whole situation, AGB.
It reminds me of how in Book 6 of Paradise Lost, he flies in on like a throne and just like the most gaudy war machine. And I bring that up because both instances remind me of how the Autarch is described in Book of New Sun as appearing both small and big at the same time, which I interpret as like him being in some sort of mech type device. So it looks like he's both a big person and a singular pilot of the whatever throne.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Ow, ow, what the?
I mean, also, it just makes sense for the Autarch to have a mech.
Right. He's the coolest dude. I think one of my favorite parts in that series when Severian's like, wait a minute, you're the Autarch. He's like, yeah. He's like, but I saw you breaking the law. He's like, I know. And Severian just gets so mad internally.
Yeah.
Like, I had never considered that like the president could break the law.
See, Daniel, when you said that, he hadn't unleashed his hit his head on the ground move.
Nice. Ooh. Oof.
He got a lot of health, this guy. Oh, mongrel, I bet is what he said. I thought at first he said cursed mongering.
Oh no, yeah.
And I was like, what?
Oh no, it's that one.
This one?
Yeah. Clutch.
Whew.
Lux, can you fight Satan's second form?
Let's find out.
You have the double trigger mode, but yeah, you might want to save it. Nice. Okay, so you can counter that. What I like is when we unlocked the L2 attacks where you have to block and hit square at the same time, that kind of incentivizes holding block mid-attack sometimes in ways that activate the counter even if you're not trying to counter.
Whoa, okay.
It's a cool way of like an offensive tactic getting you to understand and kind of interact with the defensive mechanic you may not initially be utilizing. Oh, D. Hamels Mal, did you get that Cane's or that Bojangles? You getting a chicken supreme with mac and cheese and honey mustard? I don't think Cane's has mac and cheese, does it?
I didn't get Cane's or Bojangles last night, but I did get a mac and cheese. I'm just simply not hurting this guy. This is crazy.
Yeah, what isn't working there? Oh, you do. You did somehow get a bunch of health out of him.
Yeah, and he gives up health when you hit him enough times.
I wasn't realizing that. I was kind of just like looking at that shockwave attack was what was getting me like very confused. Also, the white flashes when I was doing the crosses, it seems he punishes it at certain times. Smart, smart, smart. There you go. Nice.
Well, yeah, wait. The Hamels Mammal, you're in South Carolina, you have access to Cookout, and you're asking what to get for dinner, and you want that kind of food? Why are we wasting time here?
What is a cookout?
Oh,
This
Cookout's
sounds-
so good. Cookout's so good. It's like all of the kind of like shitty fried food, like
Insolent creature.
like county fair type food and like, you know, burgers, corn dogs, that kind of shit, chicken tenders, mac and cheese, etc.
And quesadillas.
And quesadillas. And it's also preposterously reasonably priced.
All right, I'm just gonna keep spearing him in the dick. Can we show that on Twitch? I guess we're finding out today.
God, highs in the upper 90s tomorrow, are you kidding me?
It's still summer in Texas.
Yeah, William Dickspear, let's go. I love Slamlit and Dickard the Third. And, let's think of some more wiener ones. Othello, true.
Othello. Macbeth.
Sackbath. The Sex Pest, that's like the Tempest.
Much Ado About Fucking.
Much Ado About Fucking, A Midsummer Night's Cream.
Yeah, okay, I need to counter those more consistently, but noted. So he's gonna do the floor slam now. Come on, do the sword thing. Give me health, come on, you're gonna pop and give me health, right? Ooh.
Oh. Trying to think of a good Merchant of Venice one.
King Richard the Third.
Oh, Richard the Third is good. I just said Dickard the Third, but Richard is better.
I've been meaning to. I recently saw some clips from the. Not Liam Neeson. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Magneto.
Ian McKellen?
Ian McKellen. Yeah, the modern, or the Richard III, I think it takes place during World War II with Ian McKellen as a military officer.
Yes, I think that's right.
I saw some clips from it. I'm very entranced. I need to watch the whole thing.
I want to watch, sort of speaking of Shakespeare, but not really. I really want to watch the Wolf Hall BBC series.
Ooh. Yeah. Speaking of BBC series, I know you're a fan of I, Claudius. I've been
My favorite one.
to it. Jump. Yeah.
So good. You got to watch I, Claudius.
I watched a Sopranos video essay recently just talking about its influence on the show, and it seemed very apparent.
I wonder if we could get away with watching I, Claudius on stream the way some people just do, like watch Columbo.
Yeah. Is it just up on Tubi?
It might be.
I know The Prisoner is.
The Prisoner's so good. You ever watch that?
Only bits and pieces. I've always wanted to watch it in its entirety because I remember finding out about because of that gag on The Simpsons where the giant bubble comes out of the water and gets Mole Man.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it because of The Simpsons and because of Iron Maiden, but I haven't watched it proper.
It's so good.
You should Hulk out.
Oh. The Prisoner rocks. It's my second favorite BBC show ever behind I, Claudius.
More tightly fingerprinted than Columbo. I was talking about I, Claudius and The Sopranos. But
Yeah. I wonder if we could get I, Claudius on Twitch without getting in trouble.
I have some friends I've been going through like the Japanese Columbo knockoff shows with. They're quite good. What a working class hero.
What a god tier wife guy.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
I'm kind of wondering if I should try using double trigger and then rebuilding it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
There we go, jump.
I mean, doing it now would not be a terrible time to do it, because if you are going to try and rebuild it, you'd get at least one more health pop out of him with it, and then be relatively well positioned for the rest of the fight, assuming you can or cannot rebuild it.
Oh.
I also need to read the rest of the Wolf Hall trilogy after Wolf Hall. I need to read the other two books. And maybe pop it, because now you kind of need the health. And you probably, if you do this right, you can get like 2 health pops off of him while you're Hulk mode. Shit, you're gonna be able to get 3 if you do this correctly. Damn, you have such a tough time with this move in particular.
Yeah, is he gonna do a health pop anytime soon? I don't know.
You kind of have all of his moves handled except for the one where he throws fire at you. That one seems to really fuck you up.
Yeah, I should reserve the magic for then to kind of close that gap. You know, the blue rush.
Yeah.
That seems to be ineffective. When you start spamming the cross stuff, he like just seizures up the screen. There you go. Just like that. You can get him in a pretty good, loop here. Do like the triangle forward. Yeah, that one. There you go. Then jump. Nice. Nice. You're really locking in on those counters.
Passing
And a heal, jump. Oop. The thing with that fireball attack is it just takes out like 70% of your health.
Yeah, it really fucks you up.
Otherwise, you're setting a pretty good loop here. Oh, nice. I'm thinking maybe use spells more liberally too, since you get purples when he drops health as well.
That is not a bad point.
There you go.
Don't get that much magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually not that much magic now that I saw that.
Worth the test.
Okay, I was wondering. Get that health out of him. Come on and pop. Blocking.
Blocking does not help.
Nope.
Wonder what you can do there.
I think you have some gear that makes certain. Okay, don't care. Let's swap this one out. We're gonna go with that.
Get cookout to Hamill's Mammal. It's what you and all the rest of us deserve. That's a good idea. I guess we can do that once, but that was a good time to do it. Cookout likely. Make it cookout guaranteed, baby. You're in charge of your own destiny to Hamill's Mammal. That cookout could be yours, no problem. If you simply believe. Oh, huge block. Great work.
How do we avoid the hail of bullets?
I'm not sure. You want to try again?
Actually, you try, because I switched out the relics. So the scythe is stronger, and I put on the one that says you can block once unblockable attacks. I was wondering if that might be the bullets. I realized I wasn't really blocking much that fight, besides trying to counter when he does the sword swing. There you go. There you go. There you go. Bullet timing with Satan's schlong just right there in frame. Wonderful. I really do admire that they just went for it with that.
I mean, like, there's one thing this game does seem to be interested in doing, it's just going for it.
Nice.
Whoa.
How?
Blocking did not seem to help. Again, it's not sure to do that attack, which then makes this whole fight feel very difficult to manage. He just has an attack that just
Takes out half
nukes
your health bar.
most of our health bar.
Whenever he chooses to.
Yeah.
The Hamels Mama, what'd you decide on? Magic blue. Blue.
Oh, that was one of our best ones yet.
Kick out with his cock out.
And who could fault him for that? It does feel kind of like the solution is just to not get hurt and go as long as you can without pulling the trigger on the super attack stuff until as late as possible.
Mode. I'm going to try using the blue thing to close the distance, but only when he does the slam down fireball stuff. Like right now. Use that to close the gap. Sword me. There we go. Although I didn't counter it proper. Sword me. There we go. Sword me. Keep swording me, buddy. There we go. Mana me sometime soon, please.
Yeah, that was your only recourse, I think. I'm not sure he has another pop left in him, though, but this is how you're going to find out.
Okay. Yes.
That's, come on.
Far worse? No, you didn't.
He made you in his image. You, a flawed creation.
Okay, this is just turning to Paradise Lost. Got it.
My gratitude for breaking the chains of Judea. Souls, behold your ruin, and witness my escape into the kingdom of purgatory and paradise.
Oh no.
You think you can defeat the
You gotta do some R1 stuff, not sure what.
Yeah, on what? Where? Let's see where it starts you.
Come on, phase 3.
Nice. Yeah, so you basically just hook on over to him and then... Yeah.
God damn. I just figured out how to dodge the attacks on the ground.
I think we got to dodge with the stick, and our timing is just not on point.
That was good.
Yeah.
I think aside from when he does the ground pound, jumping does not help much. Oh, you got very close
Very
though.
close. Okay. I think you're onto something there. I was over jumping. But yeah, if you just use the stick dodge right.
Yeah, I just like I'm having such a hard time dodging his shit. It's crazy. Look, I'm already like dead.
Dang. I was jumping when I was close because there's no R1 coming, but it seems like I could hit him, but that also leads to him doing the waveform if you get close. So I'm gonna try to stay out from under him and just rely only on the R1 prompts to get up, I think is the...
Oh, you just had like a wave or two left.
Sometimes if you're, I'd like mash R1 right as you're falling because you might grab him right as you hit the ground again. I'm not sure what dictates his state becoming R1-able.
I actually cannot dodge anything.
Dude, we're right at the end. Come on now.
All right, we're gonna get there, but I think you're probably gonna be the one to solve this one. Because I just cannot figure out the dodge pattern for this guy, these attacks at all.
Yes. He cleaved you in half with a flaming sword. I think you kind of can game him into against a wall type structure as well.
Yeah, you had a couple R1s.
Yeah, I've been missing R. Why am I
Oh, that was tough because you had a bunch of bailout R1s come up.
Yeah. You can kind of get him stuck against a wall so he's not moving around as much. There you go. There you go. Where's the prompt?
I had R1s popping up, and I was thinking, I think if you're doing certain other things. Is there any magic you can pop to try and...
Oh. Oh, what is this? I can't just R1 up onto them.
You're just swinging from each one to each one to one.
I want to what?
I think you swing. I think you go find another one. Yeah, there you go.
Some kind of prompt. Cool. Cool. I'm bringing him light.
Hit Satan with the absolve. It'd be funny if you had the absolve punish option.
And is this it? Did we beat hell?
Have we done it?
Lux, you helped me through hell.
Have we made it to... Well, let's see what happens.
I can't imagine what's beyond.
There's just one last minor detail with which I ought to make familiar.
Oh.
You're dead, Dante. You can't go. Not a single soul may leave this place. It is forbidden. By him. I am so sick of you. I will reclaim my rightful place in paradise. My path will be paved with the sins of man, and yours, Dante, shall be the bedrock of my return. And all that is good shall be gone from the universe forever! Not yet. I have collected many souls on this pilgrimage. Souls that have freed from this battle. And together
Sorry, what was that?
they now possess the power to free me.
Ah.
Brothers,
The friends we made along the way.
this power, Dante, we can use it together. You and I, friend, just think what we could
Is Dante kind of doing a harrowing of hell?
I can invite you, Beatrice. Together, we will rule the three kingdoms of the afterlife. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it seems like you want to take over everything, you know? What can I say?
He is a prisoner down here in Dante's cosmology. Not in charge. Which also works with Milton, who I've mentioned speedruns the Inferno in Paradise Lost. Oh man.
Ah, some man butt.
But no Dante Dong. Oh, okay.
Well, there's a little bit of dog.
Oh, his chest hair. That makes sense. It's the exact pattern.
There's some damn hog in this game.
Is this some Adam and Eve stuff now? It's a very ass-tastic game.
It's true.
I guess it's not his chest hair, it's just Noblia's hair. Oh hey, so are we in purgatory?
But I did not live.
Yeah.
Oh, he took it off. He's no longer stained by sin. Oh?
Loyal viewers, it was not continued. They did not.
What even would the gates of Purgatorio
Time for the
be like?
purgatory level. You've unlocked the making of baby.
Okay, cool. New game plus. Yes, I'll save progress.
The making of baby. Do not like.
Do you want to see what that is real quick?
Yeah, then I gotta go.
Okay. No, do not sign in. Special features. Wait, is this just the whole
Yep.
poem?
I think it's under concept art. Oh, what'd you click?
I hit X. Oh, I guess that is the concept art.
No, this is soundtrack. You're on soundtrack right
Oh,
now
okay.
to go over to concept art.
All right, let's find Making of Baby, and then is it in
Is it under movies? Making the baby.
Realistic baby motions.
Making of the baby. Really a terrible piece of text.
As children in hell really comes from the kind of medieval belief system that children who die before they're baptized, they'll spend eternity in limbo, which is the first circle of hell. It's kind of the perpetual waiting of eternity.
The design itself early on, we had a pretty small team, and we contracted with Wayne Barlow.
One of Wayne's great contributions to the whole character design was bringing in the umbilical cord and the placenta, which is super.
Never even saw that on there.
Very Wayne Barlow.
Then someone came up with, how about we sever the arms and the bone goes into a blade?
And they attack you as this large pack.
Suddenly when the babies were cooing and giggling as they were chasing, and then when you started hacking at them with your scythe and they started crying like babies do, it became much more real and much more disturbing, and wow, I'm attacking the baby.
The introduction of the baby was important to me when you walk in that room in limbo and you see the baby for the first time. I really wanted that to be believable as a baby, sort of like a toddler look to it. And anybody that's got kids knows that there's just a very unique and I just didn't think
They mo-capped babies.
Just get
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Just approached me about using my own game. He was just really thinking out loud.
Their own kid.
Talk about it very casually, not even knowing it was actually going to be a possibility. It was just an idea.
JK brought in his son to play one of those. It's an unbaptized baby. Typically, we don't capture a ton of infants or young children, so it is a challenge in itself.
It took like an hour for the crew to put all those marks on him. He was so patient. I was such a proud mama.
to have an 18-month-old baby on the set dressed up in a mocap suit was just such a treat for everybody. It's just not something anybody on the set had ever really seen before.
Yeah, I'm sure they haven't.
Just, you know, every day you see a baby in a mocap suit, surely.
I just thought it was actually kind of different thing that you do with your family instead of just a typical stroll in the mall.
That is pretty cool.
The only thing as a mom was for me to make sure that he did not touch a hand with thousands of camera all around him. That was really stressful, but fun and surreal.
It worked out really, really well today, and I think everybody was kind of happy about that because they didn't know what to expect. So we may actually have an actor in our hands. I think the bug might have caught him.
So every baby we killed was a real child.
Yeah.
It's a weird idea that babies would be in hell, so our babies are
D.
definitely
Hamill's Mammal, what food did you get?
upset about.
Did you go with Cookout?
They're gonna attack.
And what did you get from Cookout?
Swarm on them, they would get kinda crazy. But in that first moment when they kind of climb out and they start walking toward Dante, I definitely want people to get a little bit confused about whether they're supposed to attack or wait and see.
Well, it has knife arms, dude.
That confusing. Wow.
Wow.
What an incredible and bizarre featurette.
Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thembies, this has been Technopoverty playing Dante's Inferno, and we did it. We slayed Satan for the world. Lux, how you feeling?
Good. We have to figure out what we're doing next week, which we haven't talked about yet.
I want to continue SMT, and I want to get back to talking to demons. I'm so bored of just killing them.
Okay,
also,
so-
we were at a pretty pivotal plot moment, so...
Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, okay, we'll get back to Nocturne and we'll figure out what to do after Nocturne.
Yeah, we'll map this out, because I know we also have some
Later.
RPGs besides the SMTs we want to get to.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for the congratulations to Ghost Pro. Thank everyone for hanging around for an extra long stream.
Just to give you all a heads up, as far as those of you on the Discord, there's not going to be a movie this weekend. There's some fight opera related stuff I'm going to be working on, and as we approach that, let's remember to sub to the Twitch for fight opera.
Yeah, well, we're going to start doing Fight Opera streams soon because we need to get affiliate status for the next show. So we will be doing that.
But until then, we will see you next Tuesday for what I'm assuming is going to be a Shin Megami Tuesday. We'll be back Thursday with more Doom Eternal. We're almost out of hell. We're halfway, 1 foot out of the realm. Doom Eternal, of course, being the second foot. We'll get to it. But until then, y'all take care. Also, wait, what did the Hamilton Mel tell us what he got?
Yeah.
Cookout, barbecue sandwich, fries, 2 cheese quesadillas. Damn, that is a feast for a king. Thank you, WizWorld. Thank you, Ghost Bro. D. Hamill's Mammal. Enjoy the food.
Everyone follow, tell your friends. If you guys think of cool stuff you want us to talk about or want our opinions on, bring some questions next time, because then it's less, I'll go off on different styles of tangents.
Yeah, we were on something for a moment there until we got to the combo challenge, but you know what? We still made it through. All right, well, y'all take care. Once again, shout out to WizWorld, shout out to Fight Opera.
And yeah, stay tuned for Fight Opera stuff. No Pixel Goblins tonight. We'll be back on Thursday.
We'll see y'all around.
All right.